All right. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah. By everyone
All
we meet
right.
eventually, people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a timer up here. We gotta get things started.
All right. Let me post the link on the Discord.
So what are we designing the cards at? Where are we doing?
I'm gonna be making them on Dexterous as we talk.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
All
All right. Cool.
right.
And then basically my plan is we're gonna read through the pre-made cards. We're going to talk about cool ways to use them, and if we get really excited about one, we're just gonna build a deck based on that.
All right. That sounds fun.
I
Sounds
don't want
good.
you to screen capture. What I want you to do. You
Oh, are we
choose
are
to.
we like? Do we still have the 5 minute timer going? Should we wait?
No, you. So we can talk about things. I'm just getting the actual screen that people can look at ready.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Cool.
Um,
So we're gonna be looking at let me find the page of the thing. I just had it open. I had it to the right page. I just didn't find the actual thing because I have 30 tabs open. Uh, all right, cool. It's on page 68 of the PDF. If y'all want to meet me there,
Sorry, what did you say? Page 68 or 58?
68. It's one less than the funny number.
Okay, I see. Thank you. That made it clear.
the funny number. I know that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Doesn't everyone know the funny number?
one of the one of the
419.
two funny numbers.
Yeah. There's no page 419 in this book. I
That's
think
unfortunate.
it
How?
really is.
It just skipped straight to 420. That was a bold choice. I approve.
I love it.
I like it cut.
It's like how hotels don't have they just have a floor 14.
They don't have a floor 4 either. They're both unlucky.
Oh, that's wild.
Yep.
Next,
Next, you're gonna tell me that I'm a fish.
all right, cool. So we are on page 68 now.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so here we got the pre-made cards. These are pretty new to us specifically, so there should be plenty of cool stuff in there. I remember I looked through it and thought it was awesome. There's definitely a few in here that stuck out to me, but I also want to know what sticks out to y'all.
Let's see.
And if we end up getting some viewers, I'd be super down to talk about pre-made cards with y'all too.
Yeah. I let them know if
Heck,
in the description that we'd love to hear their thoughts on whatever their favorite things are.
heck
Ooh,
yeah.
there's so many fun pre-made cards here. Okay.
No, there's some cool ones, and then there's also like new staples that I do want to talk about because
Oh,
I think a
okay.
lot of those are really fun.
Yeah, I'm not
And
familiar with any of the new staples, so I'm glad to go
yeah,
over them.
I really like staples in this game because they're just so impactful how they're always in your hand. Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree.
all right, cool. So Angel is the first pre-made card. It's a normal warrior, and when it's played, you can return a warrior from your graveyard to your hand.
Ooh, okay.
All right, so
And
like,
it's a powerful card? Nice.
yeah, uh, it's a normal warrior.
Oh, I misread the wrong thing. It is a normal warrior. You're
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
How dare you?
No,
How
it's
Get
dare I
something
read the wrong
wrong.
thing?
yeah.
How
How
dare
dare you
you?
be incorrect in this class?
Don't you
In this
know?
essay, I will. All right, so like, obviously, you kind of want to use this in a deck where you can get out a strong warrior before this, or as like a recursion of effect for like a really important ability. Um, I think it's interesting how it's just like innately bad on turn one. But it does provide a sort of recursion. I tend to be more for like protection spells instead of recursion though. That's just my inner green player. What do y'all think?
Let me see. Let me pull up Man, who knew pulling of documents was gonna be
Yeah,
the
it can
thing
be
I
really
had to
tough.
do?
That's my bad. I did.
No, it's
That's
not your
good.
fault. Who wants to be prepared for things? That's crazy. Why would I do that?
But look, I've never been prepared for anything in my life. Don't accuse me of that.
Only preparation
Uh,
I need is H.
right on.
You know what? Slay.
Right on. Oh my god.
The assassin is fun because like strong card, at least from the game that we've played, strong cards can sort of be a headache to deal with unless you have a strong card in your hands. So having something like this, which can destroy a warrior regardless of their strength class, that can be really useful.
I definitely agree. I think this is really useful when like you're pretty much always gonna have something that's a headache to deal with, and it's usually gonna be a warrior.
Yeah.
So assassin's great. Also, assassin makes for a great target for angel, which is
Oh,
also
that's
nice.
true. That's true.
Yeah, because it's a weak warrior. It's pretty easy to like if it once you have it out, you kind of just want it to die, and then you can get it out again. That's pretty neat. Um, if like if we could make like a blink deck where we can like remove this from the battlefield and bring it back a few times, I think that's probably where it would be best. But yeah, that's I really like Assassin. I think it's a good card. Like you don't actually have to build around Assassin at all for it to be good, but
Yeah,
you
it feels
can.
like yeah, it feels like one that it's really versatile, but it's also one that can
Oh
be.
God.
I was gonna say it's really versatile, but it can also be used in a lot of situations. That's what versatile
That is
means.
what
It's very
versatile means.
versatile, and it feels like it could be used in a lot of plays.
You get a corner
Yeah,
of the screen, and you get a corner of the screen.
it's really versatile,
Yay!
and it's strong too. It actually like does quite a bit. All right, cool. Uh, we got Barracks next. I love Barracks. Barracks is probably one of my favorite cards in this thing. We'll talk about Dragon Egg later because that's my favorite. But
I saw Dragon Egg. I was looking ahead a little bit. I saw Dragon Egg.
Oh,
yeah,
we
I
got
love
eggs.
Dragon Egg. Yeah.
Now here. I think what would be cool with the barracks is because its whole premise is that it's an item, and then at the start of each of your turns, you create a weak warrior. And something I think would be interesting is one of the cards that I have in my own deck for our campaign that we're playing allows you to strengthen warriors, which gets them up to another strength level. And I think that plus barracks would pair together really well.
I think Barracks goes amazingly in your deck in so many ways because this is kind of doing what you want to do, of like flooding the field.
Yeah, just with a bunch of little guys.
Yeah, a bunch of little dudes. Um, it's interesting. It's interesting how they do this. I would definitely want to make a version of this card that is like a resource card, where I can like, I can spend resources to keep pumping out warriors.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I think that would be really fun. Especially if like this would be a great board ender in that case. But as it is now, like a weak warrior every turn is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely something you want to play early though. I think
Oh
it
yeah.
becomes less impactful the later the game is.
No, I definitely agree with that. It's a really good like uh, early on support builder, but it's when you get to the point like later on, if you're like near the end, it feels sort of more like wasted potential because it's costing so much more to do its effect later on
Yeah.
than it would be at the beginning.
I have a quick interruption.
Oh, what's up?
I need both of your favorite colors.
Purple.
Teal.
Purple and teal. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God. I'm forgetting.
Somewhere
what color
between
teal
pink
is.
and purple, basically.
I've
Teal
been
is
I've
like
been an, I've been a teal fan for years.
that's.
Let me look up the hex code for teal. Okay, cool.
I've
When I
always been a
was,
purple fan. Oh, go ahead.
Purple's good. Purple is good. It's a color I associate with you. I feel like
Thanks. I
purple and
appreciate
orange is
that.
also a good combination, and those are the two colors I associate
Yeah.
with you the most. But when I
That's
was
take it.
when I was a kid, how I decided my favorite color is I decided green was my favorite color, not because I mean I liked green, but that wasn't why it was my favorite color. It was my favorite color because I didn't want to have to choose one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles over the other. And so green was all of their colors, and as opposed to like orange or red or purple or blue.
I want you to know that's like the most heartwarming thing I've heard all day.
I just I remember that.
Yeah.
I just remember that sometimes.
Also, the stream currently is showing the hex code for teal, and that's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
so
I'm looking it
beautiful.
up. I'm doing it. Anyways.
No, you're
You're
good.
so good. You're so good.
We're doing our research here. Let it never be said that we are
Exactly.
not prepared.
Yeah,
It is so important.
you know what? I'm doing a lot better than I thought I would be when it comes to entering everything in. So I'm
No,
getting
you're
faster.
great.
The scuff
You're doing
is
great.
improving me.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
you're doing great.
Yeah, I don't get too stressed
We're
out though.
forcing you to be a better streamer.
I hope so. I need to get better at editing. My first video I edited was so scuffed. Which, to be fair, it was my first stream ever, and so is not that bad. Deep purple or more of like a magenta.
Like the closer you can get to pink. Honestly, pink is fine.
So like more of a magenta.
Magenta, yeah.
I was gonna say I've always been a huge fan of purple. It's always been my favorite color. As I've grown older, I've started liking dark purple less and less, which is funny to me.
What if I did that?
It's like when you leave. It's like when you leave a poster out in the sun and then the poster fades. That's what's happening with purple.
Yeah, it's just slowly getting lighter pink as or lighter purple as I go. Oh
Let's
man.
see.
Which reminds me, Oranguru is so good. Anyways, not the point.
Bam.
Ah man.
I've done the thing. You'll see in a second.
The neurodivergence is getting to me. All right, cool.
No.
Where were we at?
We had talked about barracks.
We're talking about barracks. Oh, I love barracks.
Unless we have anything else to say about
before
barracks.
before we move on, I love barracks.
Barracks
I think
is
another
good.
really cool thing you can do is if you make barracks like your ace card and you're specifically playing a deck where you're flooding the field as a thing, making a normal warrior every turn or making 2 weak warriors every turn with the extra points makes this card so cool.
No, you're right.
Yeah, there's so many cool things you can do with barracks, and it's definitely one of like the ones where I'm like, this is probably one that I would want to make a deck out of.
Yeah, no, I feel like you could do some really fun synergies with it.
Yeah, and this you can as you might be able to tell, I play token decks quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Barrage of Arrows. Choose one. Target competitor takes 1 damage, or destroy target weak or normal warrior.
It's just a really good card.
Yeah, and you've got the fact that it gives you like 2 different options makes it stand out, at least from the cards that we've looked at so far. Because that means it's one that, like, even if you need to end up shifting plans from when you had initially planned on playing it, it's something that you can still find use in.
Absolutely. I have so much to say about Barrage of Arrows. The first thing is target competitor, which means this is like, I appreciate that despite the game not really having like, it does have rules for multiple players, and I'm glad the cards that they give us are also worded planning for us to be playing in duels where there are multiple players. I think that's super neat.
Yeah,
second of all, I love choice cards. In fact, I've designed a game where every card is a choice card. So having choice, it's not a keyword in this game, but knowing how much choice costs is so cool. And this is like the first one I read that really got me like more excited. Although I will say this, you can't build around this card. Like, this is the card you put in because it's incredibly efficient at what it does, which is whatever you need.
Yeah, I feel I can't even think of how you would really build around that other than like thematically more than in the mechanic that it has, you know? It's just it has 2 options, but the 2 options that it has are pretty like yeah, they're pretty efficient, sort of standard actions. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's always going to be nice to see in your hand. And I think the most important thing about this card is that it tells us that choosing between two things is worth 1 point. And both of those things are worth 2 points. So yeah, neither of them are as strong as you could be, but like having the option is so good, so strong. Battle Dancer. When this is played, warriors you control can attack an additional time this turn.
Ooh, okay. That's fun.
It is. It's weak on its own, which is unfortunate.
But if you already have if you have like normal or strong ones already out, that's a really valuable play to have.
Absolutely, this is great in like beatdown decks. I think the one thing is making this your ace and bumping it from weak to normal drastically increases the power of this card because now it can attack twice and do things. So yeah, this is really good in an aggro deck. I think this makes a great ace with that change specifically. And yeah, no, I love Battle Dancer, if only because it reminds me of my past.
Attack an additional time this. Ooh. Oh
Yeah.
man. I'm sad that's not like a staple thing that I could put in because I just
Yeah, no, as a staple you can do it once, like
But it's not a staple card, right? These are pre-made cards for like if you wanted to just build a deck.
Oh yeah, but there is a staple card that lets you choose one monster
Yeah.
to attack an additional time.
Yeah. It's just not as strong because it's a staple. It's more of an in between.
Battle Dancer is definitely one of those. Like I would run Battle Dancer in the barracks.
Yeah, no, those work well. Those pair well together. If you have barracks early on and you have Battle Dancer late on, I feel like they would work really well together.
Yeah, they're missing one piece of the combo, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna find that piece pretty soon.
Oh no, not the combo.
Ah yes, time to make some sick combos with these pre-made cards. All right, so yeah, I love Battle Dancer. I used to train capoeira for years, so just the Battle Dancer works for me. All right, cool. Let's move on unless someone else has something else to say about the boy here. All right, cool. Berserker's Might. Target warrior is strengthened and gains Piercer 1 until end of turn.
Okay. Let me double check what Piercer's thing is.
Sure. Piercer 1 is if I destroy a monster, I get to deal damage equal to the number after Piercer.
Okay. That's fun. Oh, that's a fun effect to have.
Yeah. It's a combat trick. I think combat focused decks are probably gonna want to take this. I do think like strong with overwhelm is so good in this game. And being able to get Piercer on it is just real strong. I think this is best on a strong creature, or if you're attacking multiple times, so you can really get used to that Piercer.
I agree.
All right, cool. Court Jester. It's a normal warrior. When this card is played, target warrior gains Underwhelm.
I think this is the name alone makes this card very endearing to me.
That's so fair.
Then also the fact that it's a normal, the fact that it is a normal strength card, I feel like gives it a lot of value over it being like a weak strength card, you know?
Absolutely.
Especially because if I'm remembering right, Underwhelm is where you like reduce another person's strength.
Yeah.
So yeah, that works really well together.
Yeah, I think like this compares pretty unfavorably to Assassin, I think, on first read. Where like Assassin you could also play and it just blows up a creature. So why would I play Court Jester? There's a few pretty good reasons why. Like, I think this works best in like a deck where you have a lot of ways of gaining Piercer.
Mhm.
So you specifically want to be attacking creatures for some reason. I think Core Jester is amazing in that kind of deck. Especially since like being a normal monster makes it great. The fact that it just gains Underwhelm and it's not like when I fight, it gains Underwhelm is really good because that means you can target it with something else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is also great for dealing with those annoying strong overwhelm creatures that I mentioned. We talked about a little earlier.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because overwhelm. So would that cancel out?
Yeah. So
So it
underwhelm and overwhelm cancel each other. So it's just a strong creature now.
okay. That's good to know. So could you make an effect that like gives you overwhelmed twice, like multiple instances of it,
Uh,
or would that not
I've
work that
been
way?
I've honestly been thinking of a way to do that because of my favorite card of all time in Yu-Gi-Oh is the card Ape Fighter. Ape Fighter is really bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1900 attack feat stick, and when it destroys a monster, it can gain 300 attack. And the way I would design it is
Oh.
it's a normal monster with overwhelm. And when it destroys something, it gains overwhelm. And if it already had overwhelm, it just like moves up on the ladder. So it would go from like normal overwhelm to strong underwhelm,
Mm-hmm.
and then to strong, and then finally to strong overwhelm.
But
I think
how would
that's
you
how I
get to strong from strong underwhelm? I guess you would hit into something
most.
normal, right?
Yeah, I would break something. Yeah, anything with normal,
Yeah.
and then now I'm a strong. I'd basically just be good at. I'd have to somehow destroy normal creatures a lot.
Mm-hmm.
My thoughts for how to do this is I would want to build a deck where I am creating normal warriors on the enemy field.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that.
Yeah,
You could, if you wanted to be really janky with it, you could blow up your own stuff and have things that go ape when you
yeah.
attack them on your own field. So he's a monkey, so he's like throwing your own guys, and that counts as destroying them.
Fling is always fun. Just yeet,
Mm-hmm.
yeet your allies. I think that's actually a really fun way of doing it. But yeah. So that's kind of my ramble about Ape Fighter. Demon Lord is the next card coming up.
Let me move Joey.
Uh, it's
Demon
Joey
Lord.
Wheeler.
Strong warrior. It has the overwhelm ability, and all opponents control are strengthened. Ooh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you would want to be more strategic about whether you're putting this guy out or not, because even though he has the overwhelm ability, which means that he always wins clashes, that still gives like all of your opponents cards, like multiple opponents potentially stronger thing.
Yeah.
I appreciate how it says opponents specifically, because there are times where you are doing, or like when in our previous session, we had a battle where even though there were more than two duelists in the game, there was only two sides really. There was one side who were sort of working together, and then there was the singular opponent. So
That might change soon.
Oh no.
you never know. But like with the way that's worded, I would think that it means that you can't strengthen your collaborators.
Yeah, I really like that a lot.
I think it's a smart detail to prevent that from happening, because otherwise you could end up having this very, very powerful card and then also just boost your side of the battle, so to speak, even with the boost to your opponents.
I think it
Yeah.
also, in a way, there's a principle when it comes to commander format in Magic the Gathering where it's that you put out a big threat or politic your way into having people not kind of attack you or get distracted from what you're trying to do. And I think it could work in that way where it's like, yeah, it's a huge threat, but it also benefits other people, so they might not want to get rid of it, leaving you with a strong, overwhelming demon lord to put buffs on.
Absolutely. I think it's really fun. It's so fun in so many ways.
Mm.
I think first of all, I noticed a typo, but this is super early in the play test. I'm sure they'll fix this by the time it comes out. Strong warriors have 0 EP, which gets to my favorite part of this card. So I think the core thing I'm looking for in pre-made cards is how do they help me design my own cards?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first card we see with like a really big downside.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that they just teach you so early on, like, oh, this is a huge downside, and it gives you 2 points.
It's the character flaw mechanic from, was it 3.5 or Pathfinder?
I don't think either of those have a character flaw mechanic.
Something I played had a character flaw mechanic. I don't know what it was. I thought
Did I
it was
ever show you
D&D, but...
Might have shown you GURPS. No, I don't think I ever showed you GURPS. And anyways, this is pretty common in like point buy type systems.
Yeah. Take a negative to get a positive.
I'm gonna get called out in like a month. Watch. Someone's gonna watch and be like, actually, this is an optional rule in Pathfinder. I'll be like, yeah, that's fair. Everything is an optional rule in Pathfinder.
That's when you call Paizo to have them omit that rule from all forms of the book, both old and new.
Yep, they will delete it from your PDF, download it on your computer.
But I have it on a flash drive. It's like, we got SEAL Team 6 coming into your house to delete this information from your PDF.
It's the new Silent Hill PT.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Playable teaser.
Alright, does anyone have anything else to say about Demon Lord? Because I really like Demon Lord.
Yeah, I think it's a very fun card.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those cards that, like, if I see Demon Lord in a player's deck, it encourages me as a GM to run like commander style, like political duels. And I really like that. I really like that this card tells me as a GM what kind of game my player wants. Because that's always something really important in RPGs. Is you want abilities that clue your GM in on like what do you want from the game.
No, definitely.
Oh yeah.
I think so far with all the cards we've looked at, I think all of them. Well, not all of them, because Barrage of Arrows is a pretty standard one, but I think a lot of them give a pretty good idea of what kind of situations that a player favors, you know?
Yeah. And also, this is not saying anything bad about Barrage of Arrows. Barrage of Arrows is a really good...
Barrage of Arrows is great. It's just very...
It's not a build around, it's just good.
Yeah, it's good. It's just not... It doesn't have as much of a unique sort of personality that you can tie to it as a lot of the other cards out there.
Yeah.
I found another typo.
Cool. Yeah. I'm finding a few, but these will all get fixed. Again, this is super early in the playtest. Don't let typos stop you from getting this game.
You know, they're not that bad.
Yeah.
They're not that bad, and the game itself is very fun. We've only had the one session so far, but even with that, we're still really wanting to get back into it just because of all the possibilities and times we can have.
These are still more legible than most Yu-Gi-Oh cards written these days.
Oh yeah, I've read more than a few descriptions in whether it be like a physical board game or in a video game where it takes a while to parse through what's going on, and you have to like reread or watch a video to sort of get an idea of what's going on. But so far with everything, I've been able to understand it like fairly quickly without much assistance. So that's been really nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. All right, we got.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna bring up the next card, but I'd rather you mention.
All I was gonna say is I play JRPGs all the time. I'm no stranger to so much text trying to be written down, come across wrong, and also The best sign I've ever seen anywhere in Japan on the side of a McDonald's. I want a burger, Daddy.
Heck yeah. I mean, what else do you need?
You gotta love translations in foreign countries. They're so good.
Okay.
Mm.
They're so fun. We got Dispelling Trap coming up. It's inconspicuous. I think this is the first inconspicuous one, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
When an opponent plays an invocation or item, sacrifice this counter the play of that card.
Yeah, sacrifice this to counter the play of that card.
Yeah, or like period and then counter. Or... Oh yeah, no, the small typo, but I can get what it's trying to go with.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's just a counter spell.
Yeah, it's a counter spell. It's inconspicuous, so I can't like just get rid of it without getting rid of everything else.
It's also a permanent.
It is a permanent. So like just the next thing is gone. This forces your opponent to play warriors, which hey, I could play something like this in that imaginary 8-fighter deck.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really good card for sort of controlling the flow of battle. That's something that can be really important. Because
Absolutely.
Of, different sort of deck gimmicks and deck flows require different setups and different states of the playfield, so to speak. So having something where you have limited more of what your opponent can do is really useful.
I definitely agree. I was reading the playtest of this game before this PDF dropped. I was a little worried about control as a form of deck builder. So yeah, like in most card games, you have like aggro, mid range, and control.
Yeah.
And with the ability to do stuff like dealing with all the stuff NPCs can do, I was worried was going to be a bit too much. That control might not be like great. But cards like Dispelling Trap really help with that. Just this is the thing now. You can't target it, and it lets me blow up everything but a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of forced the GM to play a warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I force you to let me fight you.
Yeah. This is great for Piercer.
Or essentially waste the non-warrior card.
Right. I mean, yeah, no. This is also just it gets rid of the first invocation or item that the GM wants to play, and that's very impactful because of sometimes the NPCs have like a win con that is an item or an invocation, mostly an item, I would say. Mm-hmm. So this definitely just like really forces alternate play patterns, and I think forcing the GM out of their comfortable box is very important in games like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And are we ready to move on?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
All right, here's my favorite card, Dragon Egg.
This is just Red Eyes Black Chick.
It's Red Eyes Black Chick. It's more like, what were the Yugi ones? Silent Magician and Silent Swordsman.
I think so. Yeah, the level ones or whatever.
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, and then like every turn I just get stronger, and then he always played it with that combo that like skipped 3 turns.
Mm-hmm. So who'd get the level 5? I think was the second. No, it was 2 and then 4.
I think it went 3, 5, and 7.
Was that a 3, 5? They're all weird because there's some that go 3, 5, 7, and 9, and there's some that go 2, 4, and 8.
I think 2, 4, 6, and 8 was the Thunder Dragons.
No, Thunder Dragon was 3, 5, 7, and 9.
Huh.
Except for I think one of them goes 10.
Wild. All right, cool. My memory of old school Yu-Gi-Oh is failing me.
That's the Chaz, bro.
Think, it is the Chaz, man. I do think they got a retrain though, which is really cool.
They did the Thunder Arm Dragons.
Yeah, the Silent Magician and Silent Swordsman got the Golden Sarcophagus retrain.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, they're really cool now. I'm really looking forward to trying that deck out. But yeah, no, I love Dragon Egg. It's a weak warrior. It has Overwhelm. At the start of your turn, Dragon Egg gets strengthened. So
I mean, Overwhelm in general is great.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that a weak warrior with overwhelm doesn't really do much. Like you can destroy another weak warrior, which is great, but
Yeah.
like this card, it has like the wolf cub from Inscription issue, where like
Yeah.
you only play it when you're sure you can make it survive, because it's not good the first turn you play it. It's only good the second turn,
But
and if it survives the third turn, it's great.
so mathematically,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wolf cub is the best card in Inscription.
I would say Gecko is still better, but we'll agree to disagree on that.
We can.
I mean, it's more about I feel like it's more about the situation than it is just flat out if it's wins more or wins less. If you're in the wrong situation and you play it, then it's gonna be wasted. But if you play it at the right time with the right board,
yeah. Once you start doing Casey's mod, 100%. Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing Casey's mod. I mean, I'm saying this for both cards. I'm saying this both for
Dragon Egg and
for the other one. For Dragon Egg.
Yeah, I would argue for Dragon Egg, while being a weak warrior with Overwhelm isn't necessarily the best, the strongest effects you're going to find are on weak warriors.
Yeah, I know.
And weak items. So having a guaranteed pop for those with advancement on it is real nice.
It's really good. No, yeah, I don't know if I think Dragon Egg is the strongest card in the pre-made cards.
No.
But it's definitely the one that excites me the most.
There you go.
Like, I'm super... I love cards that get stronger over time. I'm a very, like, mid-range player in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
So this is exactly the kind of card that I gravitate to. And this is a game where I do think, like, Dragon Egg... It's so easy to put out other threats that I can see Dragon Egg surviving a turn or two in some duels.
Yeah.
And that's all you really need from this. If you have like some staples that can protect it, I think it's way better.
Yeah.
All right. Now for a card I'm significantly less excited about, but I'm told I'm wrong. Draw on Knowledge. Invocation, draw 2 cards. This is Pot of Greed, everyone.
Yo,
I summoned Pot of Greed!
Activated the Pot of Greed to draw, 2 cards. Not 3, but they always drew 3 in the anime.
No.
You tell
what did that card even do?
What does Pot of Greed even do? I don't know.
I don't know. No one has ever explained it to me.
That one clip where Wayne Radio TV just keeps drawing Pot of Greed to draw 3 more cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! VR.
So good. It's so good.
It's such a good video, and that's my main knowledge of Yu-Gi-Oh! For the most part.
That's all you need to know.
Just so you know, a big meme in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community is that no one knows what Pot of Greed does.
Pot of Greed? Is Pot of Greed the only card that's been banned before it was released, or is it just one of a couple? Because I think you could still play...
There's a few other words. Stratos was supposed to be banned before it released.
Yeah, and then it was limited to 1, I think, and then banned.
Yeah, no, Stratos was supposed to be banned before it released, but it came out 2 weeks early.
Yep.
And then everyone played it, so...
Yeah, and it was real good.
It was so bad.
2 weeks, it was the best card in the entire deck.
Yeah.
It's too bad it was in a mid deck.
I mean, it by itself brought it out of, like, the mid-tier for me.
No, I know. But I like drawing up the hatred.
Oh, for context, Stratos is an elemental hero card that Jaden for like Jaden's archetype in GX, and what it can do is it just gets any hero you want to your hand.
Mm-hmm. For free, which has only gotten stronger.
Yeah.
As more heroes have been made.
Heroes still get released, pretty commonly. So Stratos just keeps becoming more and more broken. I fully see a universe where it's once again the most broken card in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Probably.
All right. So that's Draw Knowledge. So I don't like Draw Knowledge in Perfect Draw because the decks are so small.
Yeah.
And because you don't necessarily want to
draw cards.
Draw your cards, because then you have to take damage.
Yeah.
And taking damage isn't neat.
Especially not when you only have 2 health points in a weak fight.
Yeah.
3 in a big and 4 in a challenging.
Yeah, I know. It's terrifying. So Draw Knowledge, I think, is definitely weaker than Pot of Greed is. But I'd be interested if y'all agree with my take, or if like draw 2 cards is just, and it's just good, right? Like,
I mean, I think it's situational, but I'm leaning more towards it not being as useful as some of the other situational cards we've brought up. I think you've got to have the right deck combination for it to be worth it. Just because this is such a smaller deck compared to what you would typically have if you were playing like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or Magic the Gathering or any other mechanic heavy card game, I will say.
no, it's the Gridmont.
I think the thing that bugs me the most about it is that I know exactly what deck you would build to break it, and it upsets me because essentially it would just be a deck that shuffles your graveyard for free without taking damage.
I can see another play pattern for this.
Oh yeah.
So we were talking about Dispelling Trap earlier, and how it actually makes like control kind of playable. And if you have a lot of like responses, like Dispelling Trap kind of is. Well, actually, if you're using the response keyword, which is new, Draw Knowledge becomes a lot better. Like this is, I think, best in a deck where you are just controlling the field, so that like you draw the cards, so you have them if you need them. You're not necessarily drawing cards to combo off.
Okay, but hear me out.
Yeah.
Make it target player, and then have it be a mill slash into your control deck.
Ooh, that's cool. Actually,
Target player mills 2 cards.
Milling on it by itself is kind of weird because NPCs don't really have cards. It's a little different. But there is like examples on how to do mill decks later on. So I definitely could see this as like a
okay.
Like once the GM and the player agree on what milling actually means, I think this is pretty cool. Like I would probably do like a clock where like if you like every time I play a card, quote unquote, I take a clock. Every 4 ticks, I take a damage.
We're playing Final Countdown?
I'm always playing Final Countdown.
Not Final Destination?
Oh, man.
How dare.
Good movies. Good movies.
Good movies, good cards.
Yeah.
Destiny board.
No, I hate Final Countdown. All right. The other really good control card. It's Dark Hole.
Is it actually Dark Hole?
Explosion, invocation, destroy all warriors, items, or warriors and items on all competition fields.
Oh, it's
pretty much
not Dark Hole. It's Merciless Eviction.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that just kills so much. That just kills so much setup.
Yeah, no. Like this is the reason Dragon Egg is is never gonna be the best card.
Yep. Because Explosion just immediately one-shots it.
Costless board wipe? Yeah, that's pretty good.
Costless board wipe is pretty good.
It's the Raigeki of our generation.
Oh god. It does blow up your own stuff, so you do have to kind of play this in a deck where you are mostly playing invocations. So you kind of want to be spell slinging.
True. That's true. I hadn't noticed. I didn't pay attention to the fact it was all competitors, yourself included.
Yeah.
So
also,
just a
like
solid rewipe for the most part.
It's good. I mean, you could play this also with like something like Assassin, for example, or like
that would go well together.
You play it to already do the thing, and then it's already done the thing, and you don't really need a weak warrior. It doesn't do much for you, so you're just gonna blow it up.
Isn't Bailey's deck a aristocrats deck?
Yeah, but no. It's not actually an aristocrats deck. It focuses on gaining wealth resources.
Got it. I'm like, because if you just built an aristocrats deck, like it's Jover.
Yeah, no. Bailey's deck is ramp basically.
Destroy
it's ramp in a
all
system where
warriors
everything.
and items you control. Significant weakness. That's a lie.
I mean, yeah.
That's a lie.
I could definitely build a deck that wants to run this for very cheesy reasons. I think also it's what we haven't talked about yet is it's not necessarily a board wipe. Like if I'm playing warriors and my opponents are playing items, I can just blow up the items.
Yeah, they're just so
And
strong.
yeah, and the same thing with like if I'm playing like only items, I can blow up the enemy warriors. So like
Mm,
it's not only a free board wipe, but it's a free board wipe with options.
Hmm.
I think there's plenty of ways to break explosion. It might just be the single most powerful card we've seen so far,
Yeah.
but it requires very specific builds, and I don't think a lot of people
Yeah.
would want to do that
Yeah.
for perfect draw.
It also plays around Dispelling Trap
It does.
because
Oh,
you
that's
have to
true.
have the Dispelling Trap on the field. As well as if your opponent doesn't sacrifice or you have a way to make it so they can't sacrifice their Dispelling Trap, it doesn't target, and so it would blow it up as well.
It's so wild.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, explosion's really good. I think all the good use cases for explosion involve not having fun with this game.
Yeah, correct. Much like most
Most
games
board
that
wipe,
would use a card like that.
yeah, absolutely. Nothing to be said about my commander deck, which currently runs 5 board wipes.
I played an 4-color artifact deck where I was the control. I had I think 13 board
Oh, your
wipes.
4 colors, I would hope, to the control.
13?
I was playing white, black, blue, red. I was a combo. I was a self-sufficient artifact combat deck. I just wanted to make treasures. Treasures are so good. This is before all the recent treasure things. Smothering Tithe, I think, was the best card for treasures when this deck came out. When I made this deck,
I would argue it's still the best card for treasures.
and like I just because there's so many one-sided board wipes, they just cost a lot of mana. But not if you're making like 42 treasures a turn.
Yeah,
Because you're not locking people out of the game by having them pay their mana. Instead, they're giving you treasures.
I'm curious now. Was this a 60 card format?
No, this was Commander. This was Brave.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, this was
It's
it was awful. I feel bad. This deck was so consistent, especially because our friends refused to play any interaction at that time. But even if they did, I had a bunch of counter spells that I could recur to, and I was taking infinite turns because of Time Sieve, I think it was. Oh god, it was gross. I feel bad about it. It doesn't exist. It hasn't existed for a long time.
Yeah, and that's the problem with board wipes. I do think eventually the player who plays Explosion, if they're like, I think Explosion without stepping into the cheese that we've been talking about is perfectly fine. I think Explosion with the cheese that we've been talking about, I as a GM, I would talk to the player.
Be like, hey, we need to talk.
Are you sure? Are you okay?
Make all my things indestructible with follow-up.
Oh no! I play shield counters.
Oh no, not Perry.
Right. I love Perry. Man. Perry is my commander, by the way, for those of you listening in. Which I think tells you everything you need to know about who I am as a game designer.
Yeah.
All
what
right.
else do we have?
Explosive trap.
Just like
Another
a trap,
inconspicuous.
more explosive.
Yeah.
This one's a
at the end of
trap.
the turn. Yeah. I think the other inconspicuous card was also a trap. It's a Dispelling Trap and Explosive Trap. I'm guessing this one targets warriors. Yeah. At the end of the turn, if the opponent attacked, sacrifice this, destroy all warriors that attack this turn.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Hornet Techo. I think I'm saying your name right. Probably not. Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that you enjoyed our first session.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. Hearing us talk about
cards.
Yeah. Our local expert, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far.
Tabletop expert, Jesus.
I would classify you as an expert in perfect draw, all things considered.
I guess like probably a top 10 people who know this game.
Listen,
yes.
The smartest, dumbest person among us is still the smartest person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You must lead us.
That's fair. I will lead you to the promised land. Explosive Trap. All right. So this is basically Mirror Force, except, very importantly, the opponent gets to finish all of their attacks. This happens at the end of the turn.
That's not good.
It's not good, no.
That's bad. That's a downside.
It's a huge downside. So it's worse Mirror Force. That said, it's still technically Mirror Force. Destroying all warriors that attacked is pretty good. I think the like main problem I have with this, right? It's like, again, this is a trap it tells the GM how to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically have to only attack with one warrior if you have explosive trap down, or else I'm gonna be like go 1 for 2, which is horrible. So I either have to win on the turn that I attack, or only attack with one card.
Mm-hmm.
This is great for that control deck that's kind of been building itself. But I don't know if I'd run this in much else, to be honest. Like,
I feel like there is a deck here which is just like composed of the most annoying control cards.
yeah,
And just like eliminates so much actions that a player could do. And
I
it
can
wouldn't be
definitely see
fun to it wouldn't be fun to experience, but it's fun like theoretically, you know?
no, yeah. I'm thinking as a GM, right? As a GM, I have a player. My player on turn 1 sets explosive trap and dispelling trap, then says pass. And I don't know what to do after that. I basically
Watch it
have
all
to play a
explode.
creature. Yeah, I have to play a creature and I have to not attack, so that's kind of a thing. I know. I really I like the kind of control deck that's building itself again because I was so worried about control when I read the playtest. So it's really nice. But
just to
what's up?
clarify, when you say worried about control, do you mean worried about like how it would play out in the game, or worried about there not being enough control options?
I was
Or
really
if they're-
worried that with 2 life, and I was too worried that it's so easy to just make like an aggro card that just wins the
okay.
game. So my big fear was control is not going to be playable because I only have 2 life and I need to like usually control needs to kind of build up a little bit.
Yeah, you're on the back burner and you have to wait to get control.
Yeah.
But I think all of these are like fairly quick ways to take control of a board while not being like too permanent, which is
No,
good
yeah,
considering
explosive
that
trap
there's-
is
yeah.
it's
These
strong
are
in a way that's going to be like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just said it's faster paced, which works considering this is a fast paced design.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be usually strong in a way that like players won't necessarily feel too much, because the usual response to explosive trap is going to be like, I'm going to attack once with one creature,
With the one.
get rid of the trap to pop the trap specifically.
Yeah.
Which does mean I'm still technically attacking, but like, if you're playing this to not get attacked, I don't think it's going to work.
Ooh.
What's that?
Actually, because of the way this is worded, it doesn't say they have to attack you. So if you're in a multiplayer duel and one of you has the explosive trap, you can blow it up in response to them attacking your partner.
Okay, I really like how a lot of these cards make multiplayer sound so fun.
Mm-hmm.
No, I really like.
What are the
like
Gemini twins from Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even think
I
about
don't
that.
remember
That's
the name.
so
The
smart.
Labyrinth
Yeah,
brothers.
Yeah, Para and Dox.
Yeah, the Paradox
That's a
brothers.
wonderful name.
Yeah.
I'm Para and I'm Dox, the Paradox Brothers.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna dox you.
Whoa.
No.
His evil plan.
I think that they got really good support recently. Actually, if you're playing the card game, and yeah, Paradox are great. I think they're the only characters that like actually like recur in like GX.
Yes.
Well, Pegasus shows up, but like.
Oh, I think the hypnotist does as well.
The Hypnotist does? Arcana shows up? That's kind of crazy.
I think so. I could be. It's been a minute.
I want to say those are the only two. I don't remember Arcana being there.
Oh wait, no, Jinzo does. Jinzo's there.
No, yeah, Jinzo is.
Jinzo's there. Jinzo's a recurring character.
Jinzo's a recurring character, guys.
I'm sad he wasn't played by Joey Wheeler, but
Oh, okay. Jinzo is a monster card, not a character, for those who don't know.
yeah.
I love Jinzo, though. To be fair, Jinzo is, like, still playable in the GX era. I think he was still meta at the time. But anyways, we're moving on, unless someone's got more cool stuff to spout. But I will say, I like Explosive Trap a lot more now that you brought that up.
Yeah. Just different worldviews.
Yeah.
The PDF is dense. I hope they continue making more playbooks, because honestly, that's what I've been more excited for as well. Because we're talking about the cards and making the decks, and your deck has a bunch of personality, but seeing what they did with what the archetype I'm playing is the medium, and I didn't think about making a deck where the downside in it is that you're just a chaos creature of destruction, so your deck is all about blowing up the physical battlefield, not just the cards. And that was really interesting for me. So seeing like the different views and how they take things in playbooks interests me a lot as well.
I do know I think we're getting 5 more playbooks, 2 of which I'm really hyped for. I'm really hyped for the crew and the lover.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of someone chasing romance through card games is kind of amazing.
It's really fun.
That's just the one lady from Demon Slayer, right? From Vampire Slayer Japan.
I don't know. Maybe. Mentor is definitely the one I'm interested in. I love. Mentor looks cool, dude. Like, it's gonna be really interesting what powers Mentor has more than like what its staple is for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're on Ghostly Possession.
Yes, we are.
All right. Destroy target warrior or item an opponent controls. That warrior controller creates a normal warrior. Oh, it's have this card. I have this card in my deck. Why don't I?
You know what? Me too.
There's so many removals, though. It is Beast Within, yeah.
Or it's just Beast Within. It could be Pongify, which is more monkey
Pongify
themed.
is the one I like.
And there's also the one that turns you into a lizard wizard.
I don't think I know that one, but it sounds amazing.
Go ahead.
It's removal. It gives your opponent a normal warrior, which normally would be bad, but I think we've talked earlier about how like giving your opponent a normal warrior token can be good in a lot of situations.
I mean, yeah, if they've got like an overwhelmed strong warrior, or they've got an item that's controlling the board, then that can be really powerful.
Yeah,
it's all about trade-offs. It's all about trade-offs.
There are cards that just don't give them a warrior, which like you'd think would be better. Mm-hmm. But if you're playing like a Pierce deck, Ghostly Possession now gets rid of their thing and lets you do your thing.
Yeah. I will say when I saw Ghostly Possession, I was thinking more it would be taking something, in the same way that like the Ace card I created pulls something from their field into mine.
Yeah, you were hoping for like a snatch deal.
But if I were to do that for Ghostly Possession, I would want it to be like a I turn their warrior into their item or their item into a warrior. Like I would change its state.
I like the idea of changing states. I've talked to another player in our game about the idea of a deck that just turns warriors into items.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a fun concept. Yeah, no. Apparently there's a card like that in here, because we do have like a Gorgon type character.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Ghostly Possession. I don't think it's very strong unless you're making some kind of use of the normal warrior that you're creating on their side.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you could just be playing like Assassin or something. I will say, having the option of destroying both warriors and items is pretty good.
Yeah, that versatility is nice.
Yeah. All right. Do we have something to move on? Do we have something else to say before we... Yeah.
Yeah, we have classic Magic card from Alpha, Northern Paladin.
All right. I don't think I know that one.
It's just the Paladin with protection from white.
That's an interesting color to be protected from. Okay, cool. Gains target warrior or item gains inconspicuous while this is on the field.
Ooh. Okay.
We have talked about how inconspicuous is really cool before.
Yeah, and as a reminder, inconspicuous means that cards with that ability can't be targeted for attacks unless it's the only possible target.
Yeah.
Ooh, if you... Sorry, I just
No, you're
realized
good.
if you played Guardian Paladin and you targeted Dragon Egg...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Inconspicuous, overwhelming dragon egg. Oh god.
Oh, that would be such a powerful combo.
I love that combo. Yeah, no, I think that's probably one of the better combos you can do with this. Guardian Paladin also goes well in that that kind of control deck that's been building itself.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It lets
I had the effects of Northern Paladin completely incorrect. Awful.
I mean, it's an alpha card. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a vanilla.
Actually, it might not even be an alpha card. I might even be lying about that. It might be not. It's early. It's early, but like, it just destroy it. It's racist.
Oh.
It destroys target black creature. I think for 4 mana or for 2 mana.
Alrighty then. Racist Paladin. Cool. And so, yeah, no, I like Guardian Paladin quite a bit. I always like Selfless Savior is one in Magic.
Yeah, the Selfless line of cards, the doggos.
Yeah, doggos are great. But yeah, no, I really like cards that can keep other cards safe. And I think Guardian Paladin does it pretty well. I think being a normal warrior helps because, as we discussed earlier, like, most cards are probably either weak or strong. Because weak cards have really good effects and strong cards are strong.
Yeah.
Being a normal warrior just means like I can protect my stuff and then like, so it's good against like combat decks because I'm protecting the important part. It's also good against like control decks because I'm killing their guy. It's good. It's good mid range.
So you're trying to make a deck theme with forgotten things, but you don't know how to translate that into a mechanic.
Forgotten things.
It kind of depends on what you're going for. So taking some ideas from some of the kits that they've made card wise, and depending on what playbook you use, you could use some of your playbook ideas to maybe have your character maybe be a little bit more ditzy, and therefore they're losing. Oh no, I just had it. There's a set in Magic the Gathering. They're called the unsets, where they're silver bordered kind of joke cards. But there's a series of cards in there where your goal is to slip them onto the field where people don't see them, and then that cheats them out without you having to pay their cost or anything. But if they see them, they get destroyed. So you could do something like that, and maybe because you're doing this is more of like a like active style role playing game, you could take the concept of dueling from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, where you're kind of running around an area and picking up active cards and doing tricks. And so your deck is that your character hides cards or forgets them or loses them, and when the opponent runs into them, it activates them, and then you get a thing for free. But if the opponent sees them while you're putting them down, or you're not able to kind of to forget them or lose them correctly, then maybe the downside is that sometimes they blow up, or have like a mutual destruction effect.
I quite like that.
Yeah, so you could do something like that. You could have it be that their memories all the cards symbolize something that's important for your character, but as you play them, you kind of don't. You're kind of losing focus on them, or maybe forgetting the memories by playing with the cards. And therefore
Ooh.
they have like a fading effect from from a different magic thing where they're only on the board for so long, or like spirits where from Yu-Gi-Oh where they bounce back to your hand. So they'll do something when they enter, and you can have a way to keep them there. But if you don't have that, then they're ephemeral and they just kind of keep bouncing to your hand or going to the grave. I think there's some fun ways you could go about it.
I think as far as like playbooks, I definitely look into Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fumble is a really cool card for the concept of like things people keep forgetting about.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go like Control, I think like having a lot of inconspicuous cards is probably a good idea.
Oh yeah, inconspicuous is a very good playtest keyword. In
Yeah,
book.
and if you're going for just like if you're going for like junk, people oh, Man Forgotten by Time.
Oh, the different dimension deck.
Yeah, no, I think I think Forbidden ones just have like the Caveman Forgotten by Time, and that came out like in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Cards Forgotten. Yeah, no, I would definitely have like a lot of You see, my instinct is to tell you to build a card that makes like random cards, but that's specifically against the rules in this game. That said, like I just have like random effects because like it's just been gone so long and you're not entirely sure what this does.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
having like build a wild magic table of different effects your cards can do, and then have them on either that fading scale so they do it when they leave, like they get bounced out, or have them on a time counter scale where they have to be set aside in like a sarcophagus or whatever your mechanic or niche is, and then when they come in, they roll the wild magic and they do a random effect from their table.
Or if you're going rogue, you could also just make it be when they fumble.
Yeah, when they fumble.
Yeah, I think that's another pretty good way of doing it. So yeah, no, okay, you seem excited for the wild magic table, so I would definitely say go with the wild magic table.
Everyone is excited by the wild magic table.
there's not a sentient soul alive that doesn't see a huge table full of numbers that all do random weird shit. It doesn't get a little hype about it.
It's fun. It's fun.
It is.
It's fun.
This sounds like an awesome idea. Awesome. All right. If you have any questions about how to do your wild magic forgotten item deck, we're happy to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's cool.
That is cool. I like it.
Yeah, no, I think that's neat. We'll probably bring up like cool stuff for the wild magic deck as we go.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right, are we through Guardian Paladin? I think is the last one.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think we're good on
Guardian Paladin. So fun. Hedge Mage, Weak Warrior. You may play an additional staple or cast an additional invocation the turn that you play this. Oh.
That one's interesting.
It's good. I will say this. I have it raises a lot of questions for me. Because the thing is, it reads like generically good, but I don't think it actually is. The reason for that being that you cannot use a staple in back-to-back turns.
Yeah.
So to get use out of this, you need to be running a deck with a lot of invocations. I'd say at least 2.
Well, it's just a Snapcaster Mage, but without the benefit of playing with the graveyard.
I mean, that's what Snappy is best at.
So what I would do to improve this card is I would make my own, but I would have it I would have it interact with the graveyard and just exile whatever it casts, and have powerful invocations. Yeah.
Making Snappy is always good. Snappy, of course, is a warrior. Oh gosh, dang it!
He's a spellcaster.
It's a card in Magic. Yeah, it's a spellcaster in Magic.
Mage. Yeah.
That I was trying to think of the word for creature, but then like I'm looking at the perfect draw book, so warrior just came out.
Yeah, it's the same. I called them a spellcaster because I'm thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm like, that's not a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Snapcaster Mage is a creature. When it enters the battlefield, you can cast a sorcery or instant from the graveyard.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, and then it exiles after it.
Oh, wait. This is great for the Forgotten Things deck.
Yeah, yeah, it would be.
Yeah. If specifically you're doing the Snapcaster variant that we're talking about, where you can interact with the graveyard, I would definitely looking at rolling this one up.
Oh yeah, because if you're doing Forgotten Things, you could be interacting with all different fields of play, including making that exile zone, and then having cards to interact with that if you wanted.
Yeah, you could even make it like an activate effect.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually, no, this would be if it can draw from the graveyard, it's a really interesting activate effect because you're giving up the ability to play a staple, to play a staple from the graveyard, or to play an invocation from the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
I can see a lot of play for that. I think this is great in the. Let's call it like the Rememberer or something.
The Rememberer.
He who took notes.
He who took notes. Write that down. Write that down. Or the fuck it, we're doing it live.
Fuck it, let's do it live. Yeah, I'm glad you think it sounds super sick too. Well, we might end up building your Forgotten Things by the end of the stream.
Might as well. Hey, that's part of our goal here, you know.
Yeah.
To build custom decks. So.
All right.
You could do like knowledge rediscovered or something as a name.
New knowledge rediscovered. I love knowledge rediscovered as like specifically as an item.
Yeah, I think it works well. Or it can also work as an invitation.
Wait. Okay, hold up. Hedge Mage, turn it into an item. Make it a weak item.
Mm-hmm.
Call it the ledger.
Oh, you could do that.
And give it the snappy effect. I think that's a really cool one.
Yeah, that is a great idea. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, Long Grudge sounds cool. All right. What are we at? Hero of Myth.
Yeah.
Or do we have more to say about Hedge Mage? Because I think we just turned Hedge Mage into Snapcaster Mage, and then started talking about that.
Because
Hedge Mage by itself. Yeah, no, Hedge Mage by itself cannot interact with the graveyard.
Hedge Mage
but
mid.
No. Hedge Mage mid.
Snapcaster Mage good.
Based.
Who knew? Hedge Fund bad. Adam's Family good.
Oh, Adam's Family is so good. Anyways, Hero of Myth. It's a strong overwhelm creature, so already I'm a little suspicious. You cannot play Hero of Myth until your third turn.
Okay.
Ooh. So I guess the instinct I have is to compare it to Demon Lord.
Yeah.
Worse.
I think this is. Yeah, I think this is a lot less useful. Most of the times, like playing this, it's usually better, right? Like once it's out on the field.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. I'm gonna keep saying this. This is pretty good in that control that we've been building.
Yeah, because you have it in your hand for a while. But on duels that have a bunch of different people in there,
no, this is horrible.
It's
in those.
Awful. It's Reggie Gigas in a 5v5. Like it's not good. It's so bad.
Hero of Myth really depends on whether your GM likes throwing you into like group duels.
No, like, single player games could be good.
Yeah. If you're running that control deck in a single player game, or like if it's like a 2v2, right, and you got like your buddy backing you up, so you don't just die. Hero of Myth might be playable, but it definitely has the Regigigas issue, and as a Regigigas enjoyer, Hero of Myth is not good.
Yeah, I love
the only way
Regigigas. He's not good.
He's not good. I've literally done my best to keep playing him. Shout outs to Weezing for giving me hope.
He just needs a new ability. That's the problem.
Oh, what's up?
I would imagine that you could do something funky, going to talking about Regigigas. You could do something funky with like Baton Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a cool idea. You could play like UAs or something, and then like have a card that swaps itself out.
You get that boost initially, which can help sort of make up for slow start, and then you know, write it out from there. But then that's still a lot of setup, and it would have to be pretty specific. But you know, that's a possibility for somebody to play in the space with.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. As someone who enjoys playing Regigigas in competitive formats, I think the two ways you can make Hero of Myth work. Have a card that just says cards in your hand do not have abilities. So you can just play
point, just play.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, you're doing other stuff. I think this is honestly a good payoff for that, but like, I think the problem card is that one, right? Like,
yeah.
But
well, it's like if you're playing another card just to make this card playable, then it's just worse than Demon Lord.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The other big thing I would say is like have UAs where their ability was they can bounce themselves to the hand to let you play a card onto the field. So like basically you have to cheat this out somehow. I think if you can cheat this out, it's fine. It's a strong overwhelm. Like once it gets on the field, it's gonna be a problem. But Demon Lord just seems so much better. Yeah, I guess the biggest difference is like Demon Lord can be dealt with by a strong warrior or by a strong guy or a normal overwhelm. Hero of Myth can't. So, you know, if that's a huge thing, if you really need an answer for a strong overwhelm, Hero of Myth can be that answer. But I think just run a destruction spell.
Oh, for your wild magic, 12 to 20 is actually more than I was even thinking about, let alone 100.
Oh God! Don't do 100. You'll hate yourself.
No, I know they weren't going to. I would say an interesting mechanic if you're doing an amnesia angle or you're having the guy kind of discover his powers more as he gets in tune with the current timeline that he's in, would be to start with a small wild magic table and expand upon it as he gets stronger and stronger and adds more cards to his deck.
That'd be cool.
Start out with like maybe like 5 or 6 things that it can do, and then progressively add more as time goes on and you discover your identity more. That way you can add new ones that you like with how your character develops, instead of just kind of having a bunch that you already have and are maybe happy with, but would have preferred if they were like, oh, what if I had done this though?
Yeah, I definitely can see a way where like at first you have 6 and then you're like building up, and then like once you kind of get to that point where your character starts remembering who they were, maybe you want to start going back down. I think that'd be a neat way of doing it.
That would be cool too. Yeah, if you had a whole bunch and then you start making it more consistent, that'd be fun too.
Yeah. All right, we got Invoke Duel. Is this just a fight spell? Sounds like a fight spell. Target warrior battle. Yep. Okay. Battles another target warrior. If they would roll to clash, they are both destroyed instead. You may choose 2 opposing warriors with this effect. Oh, God.
Oh.
There's so many cool use cases for this.
Yeah, you could start with a D6 and then slowly make it like another D6, or even add other dice into it, or a random number generator to the mix.
Eventually you wanted to start rolling like D12 plus D10 or something crazy.
Yeah. Do weird math geometry with it. Or have it be situational. Maybe sometimes you're on one list, sometimes you're on another. Like it's list. It starts becoming list dependent on something that coincides with your character story wise.
You have 6 different lists. You're rolling a D6 to see which list you're going on, and
like all the lists, all the possibilities, all the casino.
Oh my God, I've played games a lot like this, and I can tell you it's gonna be fun, but you're gonna hate yourself sometimes.
Yeah. Cast explosion. Oh, oops.
Ah, damn it. I would ask how many group duels there were gonna be before you start making some crazy stuff on that wild magic list. By the way. Talk to your GM. Very important.
Moral of the story: talk to your GM.
Invoke Duel. I love Invoke Duel. Now, she read what it does.
Start another duel inside of the current duel that you are playing right now.
No.
Using the remaining cards. Whoever wins draws 2 cards.
For those of you who don't know, that's a real Yu-Gi-Oh card, and it caused a lot of problems.
It's a real Magic card, and it was banned It wasn't banned fast enough. Freaking Shahrazad.
Ah, yeah. It's Magic, not Yu-Gi-Oh. I get card games confused.
No, Yu-Gi-Oh had one too. I think it had like a
Yeah.
clash.
Yu-Gi-Oh had I'm thinking of the jars for Yu-Gi-Oh, but
You might be.
yeah. No. Anyways, Invoke Duel, really good in those most we've been talking about, where like maybe I have an ally with Pierce and I can use this to kill an enemy, or
So target warrior battles another target warrior. If they would roll the clash, they are both destroyed instead. You may choose 2 opposing warriors with this effect. Oh, it's fight.
yeah, it's fight.
It's
But
fight.
I don't have to fight. I don't have to use my own guys. It's
Yeah.
the cool thing about it.
Ooh, that is really cool.
No, yeah, it's really fun. As someone whose favorite, like, I think everyone knows this in this group chat. My favorite Magic card for a long time was Ram Through,
Fair enough.
and this is just better Ram Through.
Mhm.
Ram Through, of course, being one of your creatures fights one of the enemy creatures. If your creature had Trample, deal the damage, which is so fun.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Invoke Duel. I think this is great if you have Piercer. I think this is great if you have an ally who has Piercer and you're doing a lot of multi-duels. I think this is even great if you don't have any of that stuff and your opponent just has 2 guys that you want gone.
Oh,
And
you can target both of their things.
yeah, you can have one of their warriors fight another one of their warriors. And honestly, usually you want the weaker one dead anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like the big guys really are only a problem if they can protect themselves.
Yeah, or if they
Otherwise-
have two normal ones,
Yeah.
you would get both of them. Ooh.
Yeah, no, you-
strengthen your opponent's thing with that one staple card, and then have it fight another dude to pop both of them.
Now this is a good card with Demon Lord.
Oh no! Shoutouts to Demon Lord again.
Shout outs to Demon Lord. Demon Lord is pretty sick, actually.
Yeah.
And it's even an invocation, so you can play Demon Lord and then play Invoke Duel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Duel
my god.
over Demon Lord.
This is great. I love Invoke Duel. I think it's... Yeah, thanks. I know, it looks really cool, right? No, yeah, I think there's so many use cases for it. There's also definitely going to be, like, several times where you draw Invoke Duel and you're like, this does nothing.
Shh,
I
don't
can
tell
play
no one
this.
about that.
That's fair. All right. So yeah, no, Invoke Duel it's amazing, and I think it's gonna work significantly, a significant part of the time. But I can't deny the fact that like 1 in 10 times you're gonna draw this card, and you're like, if I play this, I'm pretty sure I die on the spot.
That's the risk you're taking.
Yeah, you're invoking some duels. Sometimes duels get lost.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah. King of the Dragons. The strong warrior, I'm already scared.
Okay.
When this enters the battlefield, and at the start of each turn, sacrifice all other warriors you control. And it has pressure 1.
Now
So-
pressure.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to see where pressure is on the
It's
keywords
on the
list.
bottom of the page.
Yeah.
Ah, it is. Thank you. So
Yeah.
pressure, that means that for every instance of pressure, roll as if you had +1 tension while this is on the field.
Yeah, you can use this to like play your ace cards. You can use this for a lot of cool stuff.
Mhm.
Most like a lot of the special card moves that we haven't really messed around with too much require tension. So having tension without having to actually fulfill any of the requirements of getting tension is very good. That said, you are nuking your board for this.
Yeah, it's a big trade-off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
only
like,
warriors though. So you would put
You
this in a
are, yeah.
Voltron deck.
yeah, I can see that where you're just like, this is your ace.
Oh god, you put it in Dragoonities.
No.
Yeah, you make your dragons equipment so they blow up and you equip them.
That's kind of sick, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's just Dragoonities, bro.
Also, King of the Dragons, better than Hero of Myth.
Yeah, better than Hero of Myth, automatically. Hero of Myth, worst card.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably someone's favorite card, and I feel bad for them because, get better taste.
Yep.
skill issue. I don't know.
You haven't played that one card that lets you skip 3 turns so you can play hero.
Yeah, well, of course I wouldn't have. That would be awful.
No, yeah. Hero Myth isn't that bad. We're just memeing on it.
We're just
It's not great though. It's not great though. Yeah. Are we ready to move on from King of Dragons? Because I think it's actually, like, again, this is really good in any kind of aristocrats thing. This is good in the exact same deck that Explosion is really broken in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or it could also be really good if you wanted to gift it to someone.
Oh. Oh no.
Because giving them pressure 1 is like not
Whatever.
necessarily the best, but when it comes to the enemy characters, it matters a bit less if they have pressure.
Hear me out, right? Because like, you give them King of Dragons. At the start of their turn, they wipe their board.
Well, it enters the battlefield when it changes that zone.
It doesn't matter because at the start of each turn, it wipes the board. So you give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Their start, because it doesn't enter the battlefield again.
Okay.
But at the start of their turn, it would wipe their board, and then just have like a way to kill it on their turn, like just play respawn cards.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think King of Dragons has. I think it's good in a deck built to support it. I also think it's good as just like a kaiju if you can give it to your opponents.
Oh yeah, because kaiju summon it to your opponent. Well, so it's good in a way that makes you want to make a card that's like it.
Yeah, no, it is a shame that Hero of Myth is the way it is. To be fair, like, I get why it's like that.
Yeah.
Like, I can see the fun of a Hero of Myth deck. I just wouldn't want to play one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Not King of Dragons sounds really cool. I think in either of those two scenarios, it's fun.
Yeah.
And if either of those appeal to you, I think go for it. Knight and Squire.
You should call your wild magic table Lost and Found. That is correct.
Yes,
that is an amazing
that's
decision.
That is a really good name for it.
Mm-hmm. Especially because it'll be getting you probably warriors and items too. Is the thing that you can have it do.
Either you call your wild magic table Lost and Found, or you call the ledger card Lost and Found. One or the other.
Mm-hmm. One of the two.
But not both.
Lost and Found, Found and Lost.
Found and Lost goes crazy. I'm just thinking of that, what is it? Halloween Town 2 or 3? Where they go to, like...
2.
Yeah. They go to the room that everything gets lost in.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, how'd you find my sock? Like, oh yeah, it's been here for like 3 years.
Yeah, all of them are. Just one, though.
Oh, yeah. Yep, just one of every pair. Oh my god.
See, so Knight and Squire.
Shoutouts to 90s Disney movies. Anyway, Knight and Squire. Yeah, it's a normal warrior. When you play it, you create a weak warrior with blocker.
Now that's fun. Blocker, I don't know if that's an ability we've come across yet.
But
don't blocker, what it does is this card intercepts or can intercept attacks directed at other cards.
Yeah, so you're playing Knight and Squire, mostly for the Squire, ironically. To block for your guys. It can block for Knight, which is fine. It can also block for other stuff, which is usually better.
Oh no, not the Knight. Why? What kind of jar of memories did you just open up for me? 90s Peter Pan cartoon. They stumble on Hook's childhood. Oh.
Yeah, I remember that. That was sad.
I also can't stop thinking about the Isle of Misfit toys.
I don't think I've seen that. I should.
You haven't? That theme song is a certified Hood classic.
Hell yeah. Alright. No, yeah, I like Knight and Squire. Again, this is kind of like Guardian Paladin, where it's a card that can protect other cards. Mm-hmm. I kind of think, like, Guardian Paladin does the protection bit better, but Knight and Squire definitely has a place.
I just made a better version of this.
Yeah.
One of my cards is just a better version. It's a normal warrior that creates weak warriors with blockers.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yours fits your theme, so you have the extra point.
It does. It does. Mine's more thematic.
Yeah. I do think, like, upgrading this in pretty much any way makes it really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really good, because all of these cards are meant to be upgraded in some way.
Yeah.
Hero of Myth, of course, you could make it not be horrible in quite a few ways. Just lower it to second turn. I think that's fine.
Yeah, we're lowering it to second turn, so at the very least, it's like a progression kind of deck,
Yeah.
where you're
Yeah.
you're building up a weak guy, and then he gets normal, and eventually he becomes the hero.
I mean, that's just Dragon Egg.
Yes,
Shout
it
out
is.
to Dragon Egg for being the greatest.
Shout out to Dragon Egg for being Hero of Myth.
for being...
Better Hero of Myth.
Can we talk about on third turn, right? If you played Dragon Egg, you would also just have a strong War Overwhelm, except you actually did stuff on those first 2 turns.
Yeah.
Which is why Dragon Egg is so good. Anyways, Legendary Sword.
Oh. Hold on, let me.
Once per turn, strengthen target warrior until the beginning of your next turn. Ooh, you can just kind of equip it to anyone.
Yeah.
And you can change it every turn. That's cool. I like equipped spells like this where you can like swap.
Sorry. If
No,
you
go ahead.
managed to connect that with Legendary Sword, or sorry, connect the Legendary Sword with the Squire, I think that could be an interesting combo.
Ooh, making a normal warrior with blocker?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree with that. I think blocker is slept on, personally.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if I've shown y'all, but my first deck that I built was a blocker-based deck.
No, I don't think you have.
That sounds fun though.
I'll send it to y'all. It's really fun. That would be a cool card. Call
Super
it the
heavy
Hero's
samurais.
Journey. The Hero's Journey goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The Hero's Journey is what I call my Dragon Egg.
There you go. The Hero's Journey is what I equip as a location to my Dragon Egg.
Oh my god.
Skipping
Dragon
3
Egg.
turns on Dragon Egg. Hold on. Is Dragon Age actually just the MVP of the time deck, replacing Hero of Myth?
Yeah, it is. It does better Hero Egg.
It's just better Hero of Myth. Oh no, I feel so bad. Someone took time to create Hero of Myth, but Dragon Egg was just there. I hope it was the same person.
Yeah. It probably was. I think only 2 people worked on this book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. I think Dragon Egg in most decks that would run Hero of Myth, you would run Dragon Egg as well, and you would probably make Dragon Egg your ace because it's good. It's really good. Leviathan. It's just a strong warrior. I don't really have anything to say about this one.
I mean, it's a strong warrior.
A strong warrior. Strong warriors
Strong
are pretty
warriors
good.
are useful.
Put it in your bear deck.
Yeah, no, this is great in the...
Make a vanilla creature deck.
Yeah. In that one deck that gets rid of abilities, you still play Leviathan.
Yeah, correct. No downside.
Fine, it has not been affected by anything.
Yeah. Giving it an extra... You could spend the extra point that you get for making it thematic on pretty much anything, and you won't regret it. I think Leviathan is like the build your own card. Except you can just build your own card, actually.
Yeah.
Leviathan's fine.
It's fine. It's harmless.
Library Tower. Unless someone else will say about Leviathan, because I feel like we're skipping entirely.
Library
cool.
Tower. Once
Library
per
Tower.
turn,
Draw a card is. I think we talked about this earlier too when we were reading Potagreed. Draw knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think draw a card is very good.
Yeah, it could be interesting, but again, when these are such small decks, you have to have a certain kind of setup to have it be very useful.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
if you changed it to once per turn, target player choose a player, they draw a card, and you decide what milling means.
Yeah.
Or just making it so that you can target who draws the card, because even if you're doing multiplayer, if you had you could use this, because once per turn it's not necessarily your turn, it's just on a turn. Yeah.
Oh god.
So you could draw, so like if you were doing a team duel and you had someone who was using follow-up cards, this is a way to give them more resources.
Yeah.
If you had that.
I'm assuming that when it says once per turn, it means once per your turn. simply because, like with legendary, I don't know, like with legendary sword, it's once per turn, strengthen a target warrior until the beginning of your next turn. I think that's the implied. It's once per
Oh,
your
yeah,
turn.
yeah.
You
I
are
would
a
genuinely.
glass. We are two side. There are two wolves inside of you, and for me, I'm like, because they specified on legendary sword and nowhere else, I'm gonna take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's
This
fair.
is
I
something
would allow it.
both of them for clarification. The game.
Yeah,
The,
I'll hit
Hey,
up.
developers.
I'll hit them up to ask to clarify Library Tower. I think in a control deck that I talked about when we were talking about drawing knowledge, I think Library Tower is just better in that deck.
Hmm.
yeah, I can
I
see
think
that.
in the mill deck, drawn knowledge is better,
Yeah.
and I don't think you run both.
No.
Maybe once you have like 8 cards, you think about it,
Hmm.
but definitely not before then. So does anyone else have anything to say about Library Tower?
It's well read.
No.
Yeah. Lich Queen. At the start of your turn, lose 1 life. That's
Ooh,
a
that's
strong warrior.
rough.
You may play this card from your graveyard. Do you want to though?
I mean, if it's one that you've had to discard for playing it, I mean, if it's like one of the, because I know that like a standard duel or what have you is 2 life, but there are some where players have more life. It could be useful then, but it's one that I don't feel like you would use a lot in those 2 life duels simply because that's a really high cost. That's literally half of your life. That's
Yeah, no, it's huge.
So
I think the big problem is like at the beginning of the game, right? You're probably going to be playing chill duels, which means you're going to be playing those 2 life duels.
Mhm.
And
yeah.
this is rough. The big thing about this though is you basically want to kill this off every turn before it gets to your turn.
Yeah.
Um,
I think so. So here's what I would do. Here's my improvement. I would play this card in my deck on the caveat that because I discard cards.
Yeah.
But on the caveat that it gets follow up.
I think getting follow up makes it way better. I think spending your 1 point to give follow up is probably the play.
Yeah. Because playing from your graveyard is good. I don't know if it's that it's consistent. It's not really powerful when it's just like a strong warrior. Because it's like if you're playing it just as is and you're not closing out a game with it, you're essentially destroy a warrior, lose 1 life, which is a terrible card.
Yeah. I think Lich Queen, on its own right now, it's pretty bad. I think there's a lot of interesting ways to make it playable.
Yeah.
And if you have enough life gain.
Yeah. Ooh, life gain could be fun.
Yeah, making this your ace in a life gain deck, I think is acceptable. All right, cool.
Especially,
Yeah, go ahead.
No, in a life gain deck, that would be really stellar because you can play it from your graveyard. You would essentially be able to like repeat it, not necessarily infinitely, but you know, it does a lot.
Yeah, no. Once it's on the field, you're not getting it off. Like, it's staying on somehow, which is neat. I appreciate tough to deal with stuff, and Lich Queen is definitely one of those. It just also kills you. Which is you have to figure out how to deal with that.
Yeah.
Unfortunate side effect.
Unfortunate side effect. It does cost you the duel.
Skill issue. You lose.
Oh no.
Fumble the game.
Fumble the game.
Fumble the game.
Get misplays. All right. Magical Researcher. It's a weak warrior. When it gets played, you draw 2 cards. We've talked a lot about draw cards at this point.
Yep.
Do I like it more than any of the other draw cards? Honestly,
it being a warrior is nice.
Yeah, having a body is kind of neat.
I'm trying to get this to look pretty.
It doesn't do anything. Like I would use the point to give it blocker probably. I think weak
True.
blockers are pretty nice. Also, like you don't need it once it's out. I don't think you need it in general, but you definitely don't need it once it's out. So yeah, wait to see what milling it consists of before you take this. And actually, no, you can only draw cards yourself.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of those cards you only take after you have like 6 cards in your deck.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like a later game
Yeah.
card.
Don't start with Magical Researcher. That said, late game Magical Researcher kinda sick.
Yeah, it would be useful then for sure.
Yeah. Mind Control. Here's I think hopefully what you were talking about earlier. Gain control of target warrior so long as you control that Wait, what? Oh, so long as you control that warrior at the start of your turn, lose 1 life. We're back to Lich Queen.
Lich Queen is different.
Lich Queen would be really good in a deck where you can fling it to someone else's board. Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Gift deck.
That's great.
Here, I give you Immortal Undeath. You have lose the
We're
game.
The Fling deck is basically Lich Queen and what was it? King of Dragons?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, just boom, 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 boom.
Oh god.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love that deck so much.
Yeah, no. I think we might be swapping decks at some point today.
No.
Okay, Mind Control. Yeah. Mind Control is fun. It competes for that life gain deck as like the big finisher.
Mm-hmm.
Or like honestly, if you have ways of like sacrificing your own creatures, because it only says at the start of the turn. So if I steal your shit and then like pop it to summon my monster, I don't get any downsides from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is definitely one of those like.
So.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm loving the Fling deck though. Actually.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Mind Control. Yeah, I think that's the play pattern. You steal a creature, you sack it by the end of the turn.
Or fling it. Like actually fling it for damage.
Yeah, hit
Catapult
someone in the
turtle.
face. You make it fight. Actually, you don't need to own it to make it fight, so I guess not. Yeah. All right, cool. I think Mind Control is fun. I think the way I'd modify it is like I'd probably give the creature some kind of advantage, like give it Piercer or something.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. But yeah, no. As a Toon player, I love stealing shit. I'm a thief in real life. You will never find me.
That's your power.
Yeah. All right, cool. Necromancy is Monster Reborn. It's straight up Monster Reborn. Return target warrior from your graveyard to the field.
Yep.
Real good. Recurring, as we talked about. Another really cool thing about it. Actually, no, I guess not. I was gonna say this keeps your graveyard from filling up, but it really doesn't. Now it's just on the field. It's still not in your deck.
Yeah, and now you just replaced it with Necromancy.
Yeah.
But if you Necromancy to do that, and then later you put in our Snapcaster Mage.
Hear me out. You somehow pitch Hero of Myth, because you weren't going to play it anyways.
No.
And then you Necromancy it out.
Because Necromancy doesn't play, it returns.
If you had...
Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say something before it doesn't play it returns, but it doesn't make sense if it just returns.
It's almost Monster Reborn, with the downside of like it has the same issue with
Hello.
Jesus.
Oh, he exploded.
Oh, he exploded.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Poor guy. We gotta get him some unexploding juice.
I was going to say I hope he's okay, but I was going to say that the Hero of Myth Redemption arc, you play a deck that cheats cards out onto the battlefield.
Ooh, okay.
And that way you're not playing them. You word it so it's like place. or set, or put from your hand onto the field so it doesn't count as playing. But at that point, you're just gonna have something more broken than Hero of Myth.
Yeah. At that point, you're making a different guy than Hero of Myth.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Hero of Biff.
More like Hero of Piss.
Oh no,
Hello?
not the piss hero.
Hi,
Hello.
there
There.
you unexploded. That's
Hey, I lost internet.
You're all good.
I had to hop on my phone.
Oh no.
Always fun.
It's okay. We're just glad that you're alive.
I'm guessing
Yeah,
we missed
that
my
you're
ball
not
trap, right?
dead.
Yeah, I'm still living. I don't need to use necromancy to return myself to the graveyard.
Yay!
No, from the graveyard, not to the graveyard.
No, I mean,
Necromancy
yeah.
that makes you go to the graveyard again.
Yeah, we were talking about Hero of Myth. You could put it in a deck where to redeem it, you can put it in a deck where you're cheating it out. So you play cards that don't play it. You just you place it or you set it from your hand. But then as Dandy said, just play something better in your cheat deck. It's like you're right. You're not wrong.
Just play something better is all.
Just play something better, though.
You're already going to be cheating cards in. Just play something better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I do think Hero of Myth is, like, once it's on the field, it's fine. It
it's great. It has no downside. It's just a big, strong boy.
It just has a huge downside to actually playing it.
Yeah, just play Leviathan.
Leviathan's so good.
Leviathan's just Hero of Myth.
Leviathan is literally just Hero of Myth, but, like, without the downside.
Yeah, it doesn't have Overwhelm, but in the 3 turns it takes to play Hero of Myth, you can play an item that gives Overwhelm to Leviathan.
True.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I think there's even staples to give Overwhelm.
Yeah, exactly. Just make a better ace. I agree.
Yeah.
For being so mean to Hero of Myth.
Shout outs to Hero of Myth.
He crawled his way up to become a hero.
And then we're just being
We're just
so...
trashing him back down. He's back at the tavern drinking away his sorrows.
Yeah. No more myth, only sad.
Alright, did we miss my
Hero
entire
of
Pitfall Trap rant?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yes, we didn't even move on to Pitfall Trap yet.
Alright.
I love Trap Hole.
Yeah, this is just, this Trap Hole.
Just Trap Hole.
And you know what? Like, I'm really liking this trap. Like, this trap deck is kind of building itself.
Oh god, that's why they're making items with inconspicuous.
Yeah, they're traps.
They're just traps. Okay, understood. I get the joke now. I'm part of the funny.
Yeah, Dispelling Trap, Explosive Trap, and now Pitfall Trap is the most recent one we've read. Their entire thing is they're inconspicuous items, and the second the GM triggers it, you lose. So
You lose the game. You win nothing, Charlie.
Pitfall Trap joins the list of, like, as a GM, I don't know how I play around this really, because like if on turn 1 you play Dispelling Trap and Pitfall Trap, like, what do I do on my turn?
Well,
Like, I guess I have
Die.
to pop both of the traps. Yeah.
Well, it's you can sacrifice this to destroy that warrior. So if somebody
That's also
picks down,
true.
like,
Yeah, like,
a weak warrior with some other effect that's interesting. Then
you know what? This might be the Hero of Myth deck. I'm just gonna throw this out.
The trap deck. Let's go.
Yeah, you play the 3 traps and you play Hero of Myth, and the GM just gets stalled for 3 turns, and then you just have Hero of Myth.
And then in your hand, as your 5th card, when your GM takes out your Hero of Myth and your traps, you play Explosion. You're like, take out the wind from my sails, will you? What bam?
That's so mean.
I thought you were gonna say Necromancy, but Explosion's even funnier.
Yeah, Explosion's, but no, because you have to be upset about it.
It's like those trainers in Pokemon who only have, like, a bunch of explosion Voltorbs or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Are we ready to move on from Pitfall Trap? Because I really like it. I really like the trap deck. I think
Yeah,
a
it's
big thing with
interesting.
traps is these are not you don't make any of the traps your ace card.
Mhm.
Like, you just run the cards. If you make them thematic, like if you're running the trap deck, they're all thematic by nature, so you have an extra point on all of them, and that's kind of neat. I also think it's neat that Pitfall Trap specifically is normal. Are they
Yeah.
all normal? I would make them all
Uh,
Yeah.
weak. I think
Inconspicuous doesn't. Oh, you can still get targeted by effects if you're inconspicuous.
no, I think you can't. Like you can't unless you're the last thing.
Let's see. Can't be targeted for attacks. No, yeah, it's only attacks.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, I'd make them all weak then.
Yeah. Give them hexproof.
Yeah, make them weak. Then now you have 2 extra points, and guess what costs 2 points? Make them hexproof.
Yep.
Oh, no, I'm liking it. You know what? If I'm ever playing Perfect Draw, like not GMing, I don't think I would run the trap deck, but I would bring it up to someone. All right, cool. We got Perilous Beast. The normal warrior has Overwhelm. It's got Piercer 1, Sniper 1, and it must attack each turn.
That's really interesting.
All right, so I think one of my favorite cards of all time is Berserk Gorilla, which I used to play
That's
in
another
2005.
gorilla. Oh no.
I never would have guessed that one of your favorite cards was included a gorilla.
Yet another gorilla.
Yeah, the other gorilla card on like 8 Fighter, which is also, by the way, a gorilla.
What about what is it? Junk ape?
Scrap Kong?
Oh, there you go. See, you would know.
I don't like Scrap Kong much, to be honest.
What?
I used to play it in my double deck, but I think I eventually took it out. It just doesn't like you play it in scraps, and it's also like if you're playing scraps, you don't necessarily want Scrap Kong.
Oh, just
Anyway,
put Shroud on it. Yeah, that would be fun.
this is not my 2011 Monkey Tribal deck or whatever. Perilous Beast. So as someone who has played a card that says you must attack each turn a lot, let me tell you that that's not that big a downside. Perilous Beast doesn't. First of all, if the opponent has a normal or weak monster, you can just deal a damage. That's great.
True.
If your opponent doesn't have any warriors, you can win the game, which is also, I've heard, pretty good.
Yeah, just a little bit.
What's the magic card? I'm gonna be looking up a thing. Don't worry about it.
No, you're good.
He actually that magic card just gained importance because of that artifact that was spoiled while they were spoiling Thunder Junction.
Oh, I'm back on chat. I missed someone. Hey, Paul.
Yeah, we got Paul Blank.
Nice.
Who's doing real good. He pulled up the thing about inconspicuous.
Oh my God, you're right. Because the traps can't be your ace. Hero of Myth would become the ace of the deck, and you could use the 2 points to remove its downside.
Oh, that's so good though.
Yeah, no, that's fun.
That's a really fun idea.
Yeah, just don't. Yeah, just make Hero of Myth.
You know, everyone's favorite perfect draw card, Heroescape, the entire board game.
I love
Heroescape
I love
of Myth.
Heroescape.
I've been really obsessed with Heroescape. For those who don't know, it's like it's
the best board game.
It is the greatest board game of all time. It went out of print 20 years ago, but it's back now, and I'm really into it. But
it was Rohan of the Formori is what I was talking about.
Nice.
That's what I was thinking of.
You added the keyboard enshrouded to the community library. Oh, I've heard about the community library. I have a bunch of stuff I want to add to that when I am done being sad.
Fair enough.
It's just Shroud. I like Shroud quite a bit. I think Shroud on this trap deck would be insanely.
Shroud can be fun. Shroud more balanced than hexproof, to be fair.
Yeah. I would run I would make it counter, but I like making everything counters.
Yeah.
Cool. Perilous Beast. I love Perilous Beast a lot. I think making Perilous Beast your ace leads to a lot of really interesting ideas. I don't think you get rid of the must attack each turn. Sure, if the like just run the staple that can make you strong.
Yeah, just make it Zergo Bell Smasher.
I don't know that one.
That's another card like Ruhan of the Formori. I think he has to attack, but he gets indestructible on your turn. So
Oh, you have no idea what the community library is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the community library is on the Discord. It is a like Google sheet that just has all the keywords that we've all made up.
Hmm.
that's really cool. So
Yeah.
as long as you have access to the Discord,
Yeah.
as long as you're correct, um, you just have the ability to kind of go in there.
Yeah, you can just go in there and check out all the cool stuff that people have been coming up with for this game.
Oh, very nice.
Cool. Yeah. But yeah, I really like Perilous Beast, specifically because it reminds me of Berserk Gorilla. And I know from playing Berserk Gorilla through like Go format that must attack every turn is fine if you're good at attacking, which it is.
Oh, it's a Google Doc. Okay.
It's a Google. Yeah, I think it's
Pinned
pinned in the character creation chat. Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
I think I put Google Sheet, right? No, I might have been wrong. No, Sheets is the green one. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Same difference. They're all digital files with information.
Yeah. All
Shapes
right.
and colors.
Do y'all want to talk about Perilous Beast?
Yeah, I like the versatility of it. I definitely think that I would play around the must attack each turn. I would
Yeah.
build around that as my deck, and I would make effects like it would be fun to put in like an explosion, but on a weapon.
Oh.
So you have like your Perilous Beast, and you have ways to make him better, and like in that Voltron style deck where you're just trying to make him bigger with things, and you're equipping him
yeah.
with stuff that when you swing in does big swingy attacks.
I
Honestly,
love a
like
big swingy attack.
play Perilous Beast with Legendary Sword.
Yeah.
That's the play.
Mm-hmm.
Like the worst thing you can do at that point is just bounce off. Of course you're gonna get blown up, right? Like
But
I
that's
think
okay.
Perilous Beast is definitely like it demands to be answered. But yeah, that's fine. It'll be back. Yeah. Poisoned Meal. Ah. Okay, Poisoned Meal is pretty good. It's an invocation. Target opponent fumbles, lose 1 life. Then it gains follow up too.
Ooh, that's rough. Can't you you can just win one of the early matches with that and the staple that deals 1 damage, right?
No, you lose a life.
Oh, target opponent fumbles, period, lose 1 life. Okay.
Yeah.
You can kill yourself with the staple.
Kill yourself. You do have
Uh,
the potential to kill yourself. This is Lich Queen.
what
But
is ideal staple?
the idealist staple? Let me check that real quick.
Is that a different card?
It's a playbook.
Oh, the playbook staple.
Yeah. I'll find it. 1 second.
I wonder if that's literally the thing I just said. I wonder
Oh, God.
if it was pointed out to me and subconsciously I added it together.
Where are this? Okay, idealist is on page 134. I'll find it.
Overwork, gain a life, target opponent loses 1 life, strengthen a warrior.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wait. I think Perilous Beast just wins the game. With that.
With
The
the
vast
idealist
majority.
staple for an early game,
Yeah.
yeah. For an
Yeah.
early game.
Oh my god, I love that. Okay. Yeah, no, I love Perilous Beast a lot. But also, it's really good with Poison Meal. Like, it gets rid of the downside, and then, actually, I don't really know if it's good, but, like, I guess you're following up with a warrior in that case, and then you're just winning with it. I appear to not know how to find the Discord. Is it locked to certain people, or just hard to find? I can probably find the link to the Discord and post it on the chat. That's cool with everyone.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Alright, cool. Let's do that.
We're here to get more people to drum up support for the game, so having more people actively participating is what we're looking for.
Yeah, there's the Discord to Perfect Draw. Feel free to go there, check out all the cool stuff. The character creation chat is pretty much always full. I really recommend it. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. Cool. Where are we at? Where were we at?
Where'd you?
We just finished Poisoned Meal, and so we would be on Prince.
70, page 70. Okay, cool.
Where did you post that?
On your chat.
Oh, my chat's not updated yet. Oh.
Following up with most of anything since those two in a good position, but can backfire if you can't OTK. I agree. OTKing in this game is pretty easy, to be honest, especially early game specifically. And yeah, no. In the later game, you don't really like losing a life is kind of fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the idealist. I don't know if necessarily the idealist breaks Poison Meal, but I would agree that the idealist staple breaks Perilous Beast. Or you know what, you can play Dragon Egg with it. It also definitely breaks Dragon Egg.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, Poison Meal, I really like it a lot. Follow Up is just so versatile, and I think you could pretty much always find a reason to play Poison Meal.
Yeah, especially with the fumbling.
Yeah, it does kill you though, which you know. I guess the reason you don't play Poison Meal is you have one life. All right, Prince. It's a normal warrior with pressure 1. Pressure we talked about earlier is you gain +1 to your combat tension. I think Prince is pretty good.
Yeah.
You've seen nothing. That's a problem.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if that's a my problem or if that's an us problem.
Let me see if maybe it doesn't let me send links, so I can like put spaces in it randomly.
Yeah.
Does anyone see that? Let me know if you see that link.
No, I'm not seeing anything.
Never see it breaks. It just has good synergy. I agree. It does have good synergy.
Oh, you know what?
Themes sometimes have links disabled.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it could be added to the description of the stream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can post it in our Discord.
Yeah, if you do that, then I can post it on the thing.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
As I
All
go
right.
through my back of house.
Oh,
Yeah.
the link will be on here soon. I promise.
Yeah, I will do what I can to add it in there.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think Idealist has a lot of good synergy. I think Idealist also makes Lich Queen very, very good. Which is one we were joking about earlier. Is Idealist the one that No, not Hero of Myth. Hero of Myth is
There it goes.
Hero of Myth is unfortunately beyond saving. Knight of Dragons though. Oh yeah, alright, Prince, sorry. Pressure 1 is pretty good. We talked about earlier. This helps you do really cool things. I don't think you definitely don't make Prince your ace. Because Prince is literally to set up your ace.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have a deck that's really like ace reliant and you're playing like Prodigy or something where you can consistently tutor your ace, I think Prince is pretty strong. Because even like
oh, go ahead.
Like it's fine on its own.
Like if you were to, I hope I'm not talking over anyone.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you could have it be like a Jack's Knight kind of scenario where it's it gives you your pressure and then you can use it thematically to use the pressure to find your ace heart of the card style. So it's like, Prince gets you your secret ace king.
Okay,
or
I
royal
find
responsibilities.
I find it hilarious that in this specific circumstance, our ace is Queen's Knight.
Yes.
For reference, Jack's Knight, Queen's Knight, and King's Knight are a group of monsters that can basically summon themselves onto the field if the other ones are on the field. And the purpose that they have is that you can sacrifice 3 of them to play a really strong monster.
Yeah.
It's funny to me that like the god cards are not.
Prince pressures you in to find your ace, strong, independent queen.
No, yeah, I think gaining tension is really good, Paul. Like, I really like Prince as a card. I'm just saying you shouldn't run it as your ace. I think like clashing is definitely something that's gonna happen quite a bit. I already have art I've drawn up for a hypothetical perfect draw designs. I just like drawing cards. You can
That's so
fuse them into
cool.
Arcana, Night Joker. Yeah, you can fuse them into Arcana, Night Joker. I used to play Arcana, Night Joker. It's a card.
It's
was
one
good
of the
at the time.
cards of all time.
It's one of the cards of all time. It was fine. Like, I had a lot of fun with it.
It's not as good as Pyramid of Light, though.
Ugh,
The best Yu-Gi-Oh card.
the greatest card.
I think it's cool to have a lot of different character designs. I'm definitely when it comes to tabletop games, I'm not really a back builder. I don't usually have a bunch of different ideas or concepts going on. But I know a lot of people are, and I think it's really cool looking at the different portfolios or creative ideas that they've had or drawn out.
Yeah. I'm the exact opposite. I love. I will spend. I think I prefer to spend time planning for games than I do actually playing them most of the time. Yeah, no, I really like Prince. I think Prince is never bad.
Oh man, 4 canvases.
4 canvases? Jesus.
That was real good.
Rest at camp, gain 2 life. Gain 2 life is strong, dude.
Listen, but Blue Eye Shining Dragon doesn't work without Pyramid of Light, and so therefore Pyramid of Light is just better.
Wasn't the Knight of Shining Dragon? Wasn't Blue Eye Shining Dragon the one that's like illegal for 6 years?
I think so, but I don't think it was because it was good. I think it's because they forgot to make Pyramid of Light.
No. It required Ultimate, Blue Eye's Ultimate Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Which didn't get released for 6 years.
Oh, that wasn't was that not a card in the beginning? No, it wasn't, because I watched the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! And the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Card was Summon Skull, because it was the most consistent. Or you play Blue Eyes, but like they never mentioned Ultimate, because Ultimate is just wasn't a card.
Way later.
Was not a card.
Yeah, no. Summon Skull was the meta until Jinzo. Then Jinzo was the meta. Honestly, Jinzo is so good, I could still see it seeing play.
I think it does. I think there's a Jinzo deck. I'm sure if there isn't a current Jinzo deck, it will get support, because Joey's cards are getting love right now.
I think there's like an actual, just normal summonable Jinzo now. The card of all time, that movie was Blue Eye Shining Dragon goes crazy.
The best card in the Blue Eyes deck.
Absolutely. Not Blue Eyes Alternative, which Maiden of the Blue Eyes also goes pretty nuts.
White Stone of Legend.
Oh, that's actually a good card.
It is actually a good card. Rest at Camp, though. That's good. Yeah. Gaining life is good.
This game makes life gain actually really valuable in a way that I've very rarely seen in these kind of games. Yeah. So yeah, Royal Regalia. Okay, this is another one of those, like, this is probably my favorite card on this list.
Really? Is it because it requires an English degree to know what it does?
Yeah, as an English major, I'm glad anytime my college education actually is helpful at all. So it's a normal item. You are a normal warrior. You can attack. You clash with enemies that attack you as if you were a warrior. Before you take damage, you only take damage if you lose the clash.
Oh, this was
interesting.
They had this card in the deck I was talking about earlier for the medium.
It's the official medium deck uses this.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
You just come out and get bodied by Demon King.
Oh, no.
You just get.
Oh no.
You get Warrior of Myth stomped.
Oh god. No, you're not gonna. You're not losing to Hero of Myth with this. There's no shot. No, this is the Voltron deck of all time.
Create shit. Listen, Jesus, this person's speaking your language.
Shield counters. Oh my god. I play parry in Magic, so I love shield counters. I do actually like that that life gain matters.
Yeah, no, it's fun to see that.
No, yeah, make the Royal Regalia is a card that I'm not sure if it's good, but I'm sure a ton of people are gonna play it.
Oh yeah, it's interesting. It adds something really fun to a deck, I feel like.
Yeah.
So you made armor from Hearthstone. Sorry, I was reading the shield counter thing. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good.
You're all good.
Yeah, no, I really, really like Royal Regalia. I think it's going to lead to a lot of really interesting play. This is basically the Voltron deck I think most people are going to end up building. For context, Voltron decks are decks where you focus on having exactly one creature. And in this one, it's you. You are the
creature.
You are the creature.
Yeah. Now, I guess the downside is the upside is you can't get burned, right? And the downside is that this is just normal summoning a normal warrior.
Yeah.
Which we saw Leviathan earlier, which is just a strict upgrade to this, except you can still take burn damage.
Yeah. I really enjoy. I mean, let me think if I can think with all of my words before I finish this statement.
That's fair. You really enjoy is what you got so far.
I really enjoy. I know. I'm having trouble. The big C is taking my brain waves.
I feel it. I don't. But...
I really enjoy the making you a warrior, especially because if you're doing like a theme deck off of like Digimon Season 5.
Ooh.
If you know anything about that. The dude who punches... so there's a guy in Digimon Season 5.
Oh, wait. Yeah, is that the guy that punches everything?
Yeah, he punches God in the face.
Oh my god, I think a friend sent me that, where he
punches computer God in the head. Get dunked, nerd. Punk.
Yeah. Orion built that NPC. Really, really cool NPC. Check out that video if you haven't already.
That's really cool.
And I think the one after that, he built a Dragon Ball Z deck, which was really cool to watch. Shout out to Toriyama. We miss you already.
I know.
All right. Are we? Royal Regalia, I think, also works really well in specifically spirit decks and medium decks.
What happens if I steal you?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, what if I kaiju you?
What if I
kaiju
flung you?
Oh no. I think you are immune to effects of cards. You can only take damage by clashing, so you cannot be destroyed.
You can only be a warrior.
You can only fight. Obviously, the big downside is you're just a normal warrior.
You're just a guy.
You suggested some of the names of PWCs for the Power Shoot NPCs. That's cool. I thought I remembered you from somewhere. I was also there. I think I suggested the name of the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Royal Thief. Here is my people. Royal Thief, normal warrior, can attack directly.
Nice, short and sweet. Sounds good.
Yep.
Short and sweet.
Love it. Tunes. Yeah, this demands this. There's no way this lasts, but this is going to take up your opponent's removal, so that's kind of neat.
It's like the thing we were talking about earlier. It's a big threat that distracts from everything else you're doing.
Yeah, Royal Thief is also probably the second best thing to use Guardian Paladin on, so I guess a shout out just for that.
Yeah. Paladin guarding your thief.
Yeah.
Who's the prince that summons the queen?
Oh my god, we're going back to Arcana Joker. All right, cool. The next card, I do play Toon, so I love attacking directly, but I think the next card is way more interesting. So let's go ahead and move on if everyone's cool with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Teaming Diplomat, Sniper 3. Sniper 3 is so good.
I mean, yeah. Sniper 3.
Sniper is like it does more damage when it gets an attack through, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if this attacks directly, somehow.
So you would need to use. I would probably make it an ace card.
Yeah, I think this is
But-
a great ace card.
Well, that yes, but well, if I made it an ace, then what I would do is I would have it. I don't know. I was thinking something else that you have that allows it to attack directly. But if you made it an ace, I would have it attack directly and then maybe give it a negative. Like it can't
Yeah.
attack the turn it's summoned or something like that, and then your deck can be ways to get around that or protect it.
Congratulations, you have rebuilt Blue Eyes Toon Dragon.
Yes, yes, I have.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I think making this an ace and making it thematic technically gives you enough points to attack directly, which wins you the game on the spot against anything that's not a final boss.
Yep.
That said, I highly don't recommend doing that because it's boring.
Yeah. Congratulations, you found the speed run.
Yeah, I think this is really interesting. Like, this goes well with Explosion, obviously. I think even having this as not the ace, and just having this as like the finisher is fine. If you have an ace that's more about like something like a assassin as your ace with keeping Diplomat is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, this is absolutely a card where if you just make it thematic and make it your ace, you just win.
You just win
Which
most
works.
games. Unless they have a pitfall trap.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do now, nerd?
You have a deck that has Royal Thief, except it also has Sniper one. Yeah, no, Royal Thief needs Sniper. I'm gonna be real.
Mm-hmm.
I think attacking directly and Sniper obviously pair very well together. I know as the only person alive who played Yu-Gi-Oh! Cross Duel, that was a really big combo there. But then again, no one. I didn't really play it competitively because I am pretty sure I am one of one people who play that game.
I don't even remember what Yu-Gi-Oh! Cross Duel is. I remember the arcade cabinet because a game store that I like going to had the actual game cabinet for the oh god, for the steel swarm bugs and all those archetypes, and it
Nice.
functioned, but I never got to play it. I just got cards from it.
Cross Duel is the mobile game that dropped 3 months before Master Duel came out.
Oh, those poor bastards.
Yeah,
Rip.
they never had a chance.
No, killed by their own dad.
Yeah. So yeah, it was cool though. I really enjoyed it. And for the time it lasted like 6 months or something.
Mhm.
Anyways, Scout. Scout always starts at the top of your deck. So if anyone's played Marvel Snap, this is Quicksilver. With the upside that you can make it good.
I feel like this is annoying to actually implement.
Stream help? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Like if you're trying to do it stream-wise, this is not an effect I would like unless you have the technical know-how to make your own official card game engine and then you just made it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can see this being like you always have to look through your deck first, separate it out, shuffle it, then put this back on top and hope that worked.
I'd be more annoyed if this was like the decks are small enough that it's fine.
Yeah, it won't be as hard.
I think like if I'm running it on Screen Top or Tabletop Simulator or something similar to that, it's pretty easy. You just leave the card in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's fine. I think this is specifically annoying in Roll20, which
Yeah.
is what we use.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking about it.
So I'm definitely going to be swapping to Screen Top soon. Not that we have a Scout, but like, it's just better.
Yeah.
Anyways, Scout. So here's my thoughts on Scout. I think normally Scout is pretty not good. Uh, Having a normal warrior is like Leviathan is a strong warrior, right? Like
Yeah.
so having a normal warrior in your hand is not good because you could have something better in your hand. The only time that this becomes good is I think you have to make Scout your ace.
I think yeah, I agree. I think my problem with Scout is you're planning on going second. You're planning on losing if you're playing Scout.
Yeah. No.
Because Scout I can only see being consistently at least useful when you are playing him in response to an opponent playing something normal or lower to kind of defend your board.
Yeah. I think the big thing I would want to do with Scout is make it weak.
Mm-hmm.
Make it an item maybe, and you can use it to be like a dual link skill.
Okay.
I think that's the most interesting way to go through about it. Or
Yeah, to make it like useful as an item. I can see that.
yeah, like give it a useful ability, and then like it can be a warrior if you want it to be. Um, then if you want it to be a warrior, I definitely recommend making it your ace. But yeah, no, I really like Scout for its potential. I think don't take Scout as it is. Scout as it is horrible. But
Yeah.
knowing how much always starts at the top of your as the top card of your deck is really good. Knowing that that costs 2 points is really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. That's my take on. I think I talked to that with the creators on the Discord because I really like Scout.
Yeah. Because the ability itself isn't necessarily bad. It's just it's so bare bones. It needs something else.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
agree.
Like
On
it's
its own.
the drawback of it being powerful and consistent doesn't work when Scout itself doesn't do anything.
Yeah. There you pretty much outside of Hero of Myth, which we keep joking about.
Yeah, well, it's because it's funny.
Actually, you know what would be cool?
Scouting your hero of myth.
No, don't Scout Hero of Myth. Reverse Scout Hero of Myth.
Reverse Scout, shuffle him in your deck for something
Like
better.
he's always the last card in your deck.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
That way you can play him when you finally draw him.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that being a thing.
Yeah, then now you don't have to worry about him taking up a spot in your hand because you only have 2 cards in hand, and that's
Yeah.
horrible to have a Hero of Myth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Shield Master. Blocker, Overwhelm. It's a normal warrior, and it can't attack. I love it.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
This warrior can't attack plus the overwhelm combo is or I should say blocker plus overwhelm is really interesting. That is a pretty good defensive shield, and then the not being able to attack is an interesting balance for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in direct competition with Guardian Paladin.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing, I think you play both. I think decks that want that effect want both.
Because blocker prevents it from getting. Well, no. No, yeah. Because the other one's for effects and this is for attacks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would want to play both. You would want one for the effect
No, wait,
and the
no.
other for... Or are they both for attacks?
Yeah, they're both for attacks only. I think you play this on, like, let's say I made an Ace Dragon Egg that had Shroud.
Yeah.
I think that's how you kind of want to play this.
Probably, yeah. Because you essentially, you want one that's not... That kind of makes me feel that the inconspicuous is redundant.
The inconspicuous guy, I don't know, like, the inconspicuous guy can save you from strong. Shieldmaster can't.
Well, I guess inconspicuous, you don't... It is for cards you want to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Or to not specifically block, whereas blocker is for cards that you don't mind getting destroyed or have something else going on with them that you want them to fight with. I can see that.
I do think Shieldmaster, and Shieldmaster wants to fight. Like,
Yeah,
It's begging to scrap.
he's ready at the starting line.
Yeah, I think
Paces.
an interesting thing is like giving it some kind of effect when it clashes would be good. But it does have overwhelm, so it's probably not going to clash pretty often. Uh, I think strengthening it, like making it thematic and using having an ace thematic shield master that is strong overwhelm with blocker that can't attack makes for some really exciting ideas.
Mid shield guard now or whatever.
Yeah, big shield godna.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Standard bearer. Ooh, how do I feel about standard bearer? It's a normal warrior with
Well, follow up
overwhelm.
is nice.
Follow up is nice.
Follow up is just good. It's good for a deck where you're trying to maybe like if you're playing a tactician.
Yeah.
So if you standard bearer and then you tactician.
Yeah.
Um,
Follow up.
I'll go ahead.
I think honestly, follow up is probably best with like having a body on the field. You want to use that somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe sacking it somehow for value, or playing an equipment spell that can make it valuable. Because like, again, normal vanillas are important in this game. Which we talked about earlier. Royal Regalia also had this issue.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my take. I think it really depends on what you're following it up with. If you have good ways of making use of the normal warrior, this card is amazing.
Yeah, normal warriors are just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Kind of funky.
A little bit. The irony is that some of these effects would actually be better if there was a higher deck size. No, yeah, I think a lot of these cards you don't take at first. You take a few of these like once you are reaching that 8 card point.
Yeah, they're like feats.
Yeah.
Where in the beginning, when you're building your character for D&D, there are some feats that are obviously like, oh, you have to take this. Like, oh, I'm using a polearm, I have to take polearm master. But later maybe you want to be more defensive with things, or maybe you want to do some things that are more utility. So a lot of these are utilities.
Polearm master, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Hey, tactician. I love tactician. I think I probably am the kind of person that would put tactician into most any deck I build.
Fair enough. It's a good card. It's an anthem.
It's a great card. Yeah, it's an anthem. Anthems are great. Lord's great. Oh my god. It doesn't target itself, which is honestly fine. Because it's like normal warriors. We're gonna keep mentioning this. Have issues. But honestly, like, Tactician is probably the exact card that you want to play with Shield Master.
Yeah. If you could do this. If you had this and you made Tactician your ace, you would just take out other.
Yeah.
And then now you just have a strong board.
That's a fun deck right there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, we got like 9 more to go. Trebuchet. At the start of your turn, deal 1 damage to the opponent. Toxic. Very mid-range. I like that. It demands a response pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, like a few times, this is going to get removed. It's probably fine. Now you're getting rid of the removal, which lets you do some cool plays next turn.
This would be entirely broken in that deck where you're skipping turns.
Tactician is especially good in teamwork decks. I agree. Teamwork is really, really cool. My first deck that I built for this game is a teamwork deck based around blocker. So that, yeah, no, I think teamwork decks are fun, and I would love to play the Tactician Ace teamwork deck. I'll probably build something like that the time I get a chance to play.
Yeah.
All right, we got, yeah, I think we talked about Trebuchet.
Yeah.
Twin Blade Ranger. It's got double strike. It attacks twice each turn. Everything that I've said about normal warriors does not apply to Twin Blade Ranger, because it does something.
What does it do?
Does something 2 times.
Twice each turn.
Attack twice each turn. Attack twice each turn means you can get rid of those annoying weak warriors. And honestly, any kind of buff you give it is good. If this is in your tactician deck, for example, you can pretty much control the board with this thing pretty easily. And if you clear the board and play Twin Blade Ranger, it wins the game. So that's pretty good.
How much damage do normals do 2 damage, right? Or do they
normals
only do
1? Normals do 1, strong do 2. Weaks don't do any damage.
Okay. So if
But
so it would be like if you're fighting those weak early on enemies.
Yeah. Also, like, if you have the strengthen staple, which I think you do in a deck that runs Twin Blade Ranger. I think Twin Blade Ranger on its own.
Definitely.
On its own, it justifies running the strengthen stable, and then like you just have a strong guy that attacks twice.
If you play the other version of essentially what he does, was it the invocation that does so that's a staple?
Yeah.
Does he attack 3 times?
4
4
I would ask
times,
your GM.
or just 2?
I would ask your GM. Personally, I would say 3.
Yeah.
Because 4 is too much.
You could also ask your GM and have them flavor it as attacks an additional time.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Because I would definitely
That's a good way.
I would definitely make it attack 3 because I don't want to do
4 is so strong. Twin Blade Ranger kills the opponent, no matter how strong they are.
Stab.
Yeah, I stabbed him 67 times.
Use a
Smile.
falcon weapon?
No.
I summon Twin Blade Ranger, which attacks 4 times and causes me to summon Twin Blade Ranger, which makes me attack 4 times. And I summon...
Wait. I just realized something. This reminds me of one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Jax duels.
Oh.
Jaden summons a monster that, as long as there is a warrior on the opponent's side of the field, that monster can keep attacking. And the monster had a monster that the enemy had a monster that every time it got destroyed, it came back to the field.
Oh my god!
So Jaden just does 200 damage like infinite times.
Wasn't that the Amazon duel or no?
I think it's I think it's against the snake guy, but I could be wrong.
Might be.
It certainly has been a year.
All I know is that GX was so good. All the media for GX was so good, show and manga, that there's still most of the cards that are defining the current meta as far as retrains and things that are being printed currently are from GX.
The only person that I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Against plays a U-Bell deck, and I think that's all I need to say on the subject.
I really want to make a domain U-Bell deck so much.
Oh my god.
I love it so much.
I'm just never going to escape U-Bell.
No, you will never.
I am Jaden. Alright, cool.
You are the Supreme King.
Oh no. I killed Axel. Anyways, when a warrior, Vanguard, normal warrior, when a warrior control would be destroyed, you can choose for this one to be destroyed instead. Okay. I think this makes Guardian Paladin. I think this is a strict improvement on Guardian Paladin. And I don't like that.
I think that it...
Like,
let me look at Guardian Paladin again.
It makes a monster inconspicuous, which is cool.
I think this is better than Guardian Paladin because Guardian Paladin only... Yeah, for your strict improvement. Yeah, correct. Because this protects your... Guardian Paladin only does the inconspicuous. This technically prevents from all destruction effects. This would save you from an explosion.
Yeah. This is Stardust Dragon.
Yeah, I think technically this could stop that, because it's when it would be destroyed. So when you play Explosion, it says destroy all the things. So when they all destroy and see each other, could you instead sacrifice this? It gets destroyed twice.
I mean, with my understanding of 5
it would already be destroyed.
No, it wouldn't, because it's happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think the way I would rule it, if I'm GMing, is Vanguard gets destroyed twice.
Okay.
Like,
for
if we're
the
using
purposes of effects that need that, right?
yeah. If we're using Yu-Gi-Oh, like wording, I think that's it. Like, Vanguard just gets destroyed twice.
Yep. And
Since
if we're
it's,
using magic, I think it works the same. It replaces the effect.
yeah. So I do think Vanguard can save a monster from anything, which is kind of unfortunate for me because it means that like Shield Master and Guardian Paladin and there was another one are just not as good as this. Like,
Well, Shield Master still has a place in our hearts, though.
yeah, I like Shield Master quite a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Vanguard is very good. Vanguard does a very important job um, in quite a few decks.
It's worded the exact same for Twin Blade Ranger, but for me, I'd be if I'm being a shithead, then for me I'm like, well, it's worded twice, so since it can attack twice each turn, and I play a card that says it can do that, its natural attacks are 2, so now it attacks 4 times, which is
I can see
when
that.
hands get thrown.
As the GM of this game, that's not how that works.
That's where I get hands thrown at me from across the
Always
table.
always remember to talk to your GM friends.
Yeah.
Your
Yep,
GMs want to
but
make
it's
you
the
feel
most
cool.
important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely.
When you're doing a
Oh, go ahead.
when you're doing a tabletop RPG, the GM is not your enemy. The GM is your best friend.
We are trying to help you live out your dreams.
Until it's 5 hours into a session and someone mentions a giant eldritch beast,
Yeah.
then he's not your friend.
He's not your friend anymore. You've messed up before that, though.
You didn't get the right pizza.
Yeah, no, what the fuck, dude?
I
How'd you
asked
bring-
specifically for pepperoni on one side and jalapeno on the other, not mixed.
Why'd you bring me vegetarian pizza, bro? What the fuck? Anyways,
Slash.
Vampire. When Vampire deals damage or clashes, gain 1 life. Ooh. I want to give this Piercer so bad. Like that,
Damage.
I love Vampire. Vampire is really cool.
Yeah, okay, I like
Vampire
it.
could pair well with
Lich Queen.
Vampire could pair with the Lich Queen.
Oh, because it's also undead, so you have an undead theme right there.
Yeah, I know. The theme is
That's
putting
true.
itself
I
together.
didn't even think about that. I was
Yeah.
just
We have a
thinking about
zombie
mechanics
coming up.
wise. That makes
We have a
sense.
zombie coming up. We have a little undead team right here.
Ah. They give you a taste with the Lich Queen, and then someone was like, hold up,
Hold up. Let's
wait
cook.
a minute.
No, yeah, I really like that interaction. I think there's a few other ones. We talked about them.
So it doesn't
Why am I
even
not
have
moving?
to win. It just...
Yeah, no, yeah. Every time it clashes, it
Ooh.
gains a life.
If you give it Piercer, then it gains 2 life.
Yeah, I think I brought that up.
You probably did.
I really want to give this thing Piercer. I think this with Piercer is so
Just
cool.
Make the Piercer deck already, please. Make the Trample deck, please. Mono Green Stompy.
I run Grohl Trample, but fair enough.
Stop burning
I'm
down
on
my
the-
forest.
No. Only I can prevent forest fires, and I'm too busy causing them. All right, cool. No, yeah, Vampire's really fun. I have nothing bad to say about it. I would definitely play
No,
a
it
deck.
seems fun.
Yeah, I would definitely play a deck with this in it. I can see so many cool ways of improving it. I think the most obvious and probably the most effective way is to give it Piercer.
Mhm.
Warband Leader. When this warrior attacks, create a weak warrior with teamwork.
Now, teamwork is one we haven't talked about on here before, I don't think, but
Yeah.
its premises. Cards with teamwork can pair up with each other, and up to 1 card without teamwork to combine their strength totals.
It's real cool.
That's really interesting.
I think Warband Leader and Tactician pair together beautifully.
I can definitely see that, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because then the Warband Leader itself is a strong monster.
That
And you
makes
can-
normal monsters.
Yeah, it makes normal monsters, and the normal monsters
That's true.
Can team
pair
up
up with
with your...
Tactician.
yeah. Which
attack
makes
on the strong-
another strong monster. Ooh,
Yeah.
fair.
That's fun. That's
And
really
if you
fun.
have if you have a strong overwhelm thing to fight, you can actually just use all 3 of them, which does make it a little worse, but just having 2 strong monsters when you're attacking is sweet. And I haven't brought this up before, but like I could see this being cool in a fusion deck too.
Yeah. Well, I would put Warband Leader and then the Dragon, and then you make the one Union guy,
We're
the
just making
Dark Blade.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got the Warlock coming up. When this is played, you may lose 1 life. Search for a card in your deck and add it to your hand.
Now
Okay,
that could be good. That could be good because that's strategic. You're making the decision there as opposed to the automatic life loss.
I mean, the downside is that when you don't do it, you're playing a normal warrior. It has its issues. It's not the worst thing you can do.
Searching effects are always good.
Searching effects are always good. I think like this is gonna get a lot better.
Yeah. Consistency is always the best that you can do.
Late game, I think at the beginning of the game, it's pretty bad. I would wait to take it.
Yeah.
Oh God, well-trained squad. My beloved.
That and Tactician would be really good.
Oh. This is also for the fusion deck too.
Yeah.
Okay, Warband Leader plus well-trained squad
Plus Tactician.
plus Tactician.
Yeah, no. Like
Oof.
the deck is coming together. I think that's really fun. Oh, also Barracks. Barracks is the other card.
True.
Yeah. That's the deck right there.
I would rather search while draw and tutor effects are mostly useful when you have a larger deck. I agree, but I would rather have a tutoring effect than a draw effect with a smaller card pool, because I'm looking for something specific, not trying to lose my life. So
Yeah,
Warlock
I
kind of
agree with
fails
that.
on both those ends, but
Warlock is bad at both of the things you want in early game, but I think it's good in like
late game.
late game because both of the its 2 major downsides are both gone.
Yep.
So yeah, well-trained squad. Yeah, I think it has a very clear spot. If you're trying to flood the board, this is the best card at doing so.
Yep. That's just good.
It's really good.
It's
Weak
very
warriors,
good.
they have teamwork. Having teamwork helps weak warriors so much.
Mm-hmm. If you lose the dice roll with weak cards, do you then lose both of the cards in the teamwork?
So if you lose the dice roll, nothing happens. If you win the dice roll, you can choose that they all get destroyed. And yeah, every creature that's attacking would get destroyed.
So if you win the dice roll for your 2 weak warriors teamworking in normal, all 3 things would get destroyed. You don't get to just keep one of them.
That's correct. That's my understanding of the rules.
That's rough.
It is rough, but like sometimes you need that normal warrior gun.
Now they're less soldiers, more goblins to me.
They are very much goblins. I think like teamwork is a last chance to get rid of something. I also think teamwork is great in like we've talked about aristocrat decks a lot. I don't think there's a single aristocrat deck card in this pool, but they're pretty easy to make, and I think there's a lot of really cool stuff in here for them. Well-trained squad could be really good in an aristocrat style deck.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, teamwork has its issues. I don't think it's great. I think it's really thematic though, and I think it's neat. Winds of Change. Discard your hand, draw that many cards, and it has follow-up. Okay, I know we've talked a lot of shit about drawing cards in this game. Winds of Change is kind of based.
It's literally just Winds of Change from Magic the Gathering.
Oh, I didn't know that card. Having follow-up. It's pretty good.
Follow-up is nice.
Yeah, because you're trying to draw...
If you've got a really shit hand, Winds of Change is especially good.
I don't even think your hand matters. Like you're playing this card so that you have like you're playing this in a control deck. And you need to draw the out. Yeah.
Yeah, Winter changes the dude with the skeleton head.
Hell yeah. You have to send me that card later.
It's
But
just
no,
a
yeah, I
one
like
mana
Winds of
wheel.
Change. I think Winds of Change is going to be useful in a lot of times where the other card draw we've seen is not good.
Yeah, especially just the follow up alone.
Yeah, the follow up alone fixes pretty much all the draw cards. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
actually, I guess that's how you make draw cards good in this game.
Yep. It also works really well for me where I'm discarding my hand and then getting value for it. So
Yeah,
just
and
flood the board with bullshit.
yeah, flooding the board with bullshit is pretty base.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're finally at the last card of our chat of our read through.
Zombie.
Zombie. You
I
can play this
love
card.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
You may play this card from your graveyard. Playing the card from a graveyard is a really fun mechanic in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely agree.
I'm a sucker for regen and rebirth and that kind of stuff, though. So that's my bias.
Oh,
No,
making
that's
like
valid
a
as well.
cycle of life deck. Ooh,
Ooh.
that'd be fun.
I think ways of making zombie better. I think zombie's great, actually. Like all of my issues with playing a normal warrior are solved by zombie. Being a zombie. The main way I would probably improve it is like give it a bonus for being played from the graveyard.
Well, you could play. Yeah, you could do that, or you could have it like cannibalize, like it takes a chomp out of something.
Ooh.
So maybe it weakens a card when
Oh,
you
hear me
play it
out.
from your graveyard.
Hear me out. This is a cool idea that I just came up with right now. You can fuse it from the graveyard.
Okay,
Ooh,
relinquish.
Hey, I'm doing a Vendrit thing over here.
Yeah, you sure are. You sure are.
They're only destroyed when they lose the clash. Oh, did I misread clash? That's possible.
It's down.
It's like 10 p.m. I'm kind of over it. But yeah, no,
Yeah, a bit sleepy myself.
that's fair. No, yeah, they do only get destroyed when they lose the clash. That was my bad. In that case, like,
Yeah, no negatives then.
oh yeah, it's pretty good. It goes really well with Prince in that case.
Yeah.
Oh, Prince, Twin Blade Ranger.
Ooh, okay.
No, we're cooking.
Oh no. Basic humans is going to become the best part of this meta too.
No,
Soldier deck.
mono white human soldiers.
Winds of Change sparked an idea for the Lost and Found chart. Heck yeah! I think that's a really good effect to have.
Yeah, no, I think for your lost and found, you have to send us that at some point.
Yeah, I would
For
love to see
sure.
more on that.
Oh yeah. All right, that's pretty much zombie is the last card on this pre-made card. So that's been us reading through the pre-made cards and just like talking about what
Thoughts?
pairs well with each other, making fun of Hero of Myth quite a bit.
Hero of Myth, Lich Queen, and then talking our favorites and maybe what we would improve on, and also like coming up with that, helping you come up with that Lost and Found deck. It sounded really fun.
Yeah. Since we have viewers, y'all got questions? This is why I resolved archetyped characters run teamwork. No, yeah, I agree. I think resolved with Prince and like all the teamwork cards sounds like a really fun deck to play.
Oh yeah, reading through these honestly has given me a lot of different ideas for things. But I like the idea of like the zombie deck, because originally I wanted to do like a the Fabled / Dark World style deck, which I kind of ended up doing a bit with the discarding, but I didn't lean into it as heavy as the with a lot of those effects where it's like, oh, discard, and then you get the card back and it pops something, or it draws another thing with a follow up.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see them have a lot of different cards that are like, oh, this is easy to improve upon, or wow, this was a mistake in design, and I'm really glad you had this so that someone could look at that and either make the mistake for themselves, like really bad Magic cards, or at the very least look at it and go, I shouldn't do that.
That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's one last thing I kind of want to look at if we're all awake enough.
Sure.
Page 208, the optional playbook staples.
You said 208?
208, yeah, that's correct.
Alright, let me
Which is
pull
actually
that back
probably going to
up.
be 210.
Oh, we might want to go into advanced keywords. Those have pre-made cards as well. That's true. How awake are we feeling?
Depends on what you're asking us to look at.
There's 3. There's 6, 9. There's 12 more pre-made cards that we should be looking at probably.
Let's look at the 12 more pre-made cards.
I'm sort of dead, gang. I might
You
hop
wouldn't
off for this last.
No,
I
you're good.
really enjoyed going over everything with y'all.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that's all good.
All right,
Guys,
someone
have
else
a great
is
rest of the night.
coming in. Looks like.
Okay. Well, it was nice having you.
Thanks for hanging out. Okay.
Ah. Ah!
All right, cool. We might have someone hop in a bit to help us with review these last 12 or so. Cool.
202
I
for the
guess-
keywords.
Yeah. So 202 is activate. Do you want to read what activate does?
Hold on. I just saw the fusion keyword.
Fusion is so cool in this game. I love it.
Made me feel some things for a second. So I can use an activate ability by foregoing use of the play a staple or invocation player action this turn. Activate abilities are treated as staples and can't be used if it was the last staple that you've used. Okay. So it's what would I imagine? It's like an ability that you have on a card, and so instead of using your sub action or playing like a second card on your turn, you just get to use activate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've talked a lot about all the reasons staples are good in this game. Staples are like having a consistent thing to deal with a problem is very important. The downside of these is that they are technically a staple, but they're on a body. So you have to keep the body alive to have access to that staple.
Mm-hmm.
That said, it does mean that like hopefully they're going to pair well with each other. Let's find out. So we got the first one is Cleric. Cleric's a normal warrior. It's a normal Noah, and it has a ability that lets it gain 2 life.
Okay.
Gain 2 life is pretty good.
That's pretty cash
As
money.
as long as Cleric can just keep gaining 2 life. This is a pretty good card to protect, to be honest. Because like gaining 2 life repeatedly can get you out of a lot of jams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's literally an activate ability. So yeah, trying to keep Cleric alive to like trigger it twice is pretty good. I think just dropping this and gaining 2 life and then hopefully killing a weak warrior is honestly a good turn.
Even just having it clash with a normal warrior.
Yeah,
could be good.
Yeah, if you just want to destroy those, that's fine. So yeah, I think Cleric gets the seal of approval, despite it being a normal warrior and me having issues with normal warriors.
With your pure hatred of normal warriors.
Yeah. Grave Robber. Let's see if normal warrior 2 here can keep up the streak. Again, it does nothing on its own, but its activated ability is draw a number of cards equal to the cards in your hand, then discard that many cards. Oh boy, Grave Robber, you're
not doing yourself any favors. You're a normal warrior. That's strike 1 on Jesus' chart.
You draw a card, that's strike 2.
Strike 2.
You discard. It's
Just
horrible.
discard with no follow up. How dare you?
Okay, Grave Robber. It feels like a trap. I probably say that like drawing cards is probably still good. I'm probably even talking too much shit about drawing cards, but
Well,
like,
I think my problem with this is you're calling it a grave robber, but it's not robbing a grave, it's robbing your deck, and your deck is not a grave. So swap
yeah,
the effect. Draw the
yeah,
cards
yeah,
from your graveyard.
and put 2 back in your deck.
Yeah, and then put them
I would like it. I
put
would
them
like it
back
so
in your
much
deck.
more that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now as is, it has everything I hate. So I have to give it a bad score. I don't even think I've scored any of the other cards, but this card seems not good.
So it uses the resource keyword later on instead of costing a staple.
Yeah, that's true.
What is a resource? Hold on.
We'll get to resource in just a bit.
Ah, okay.
All right. Spellbook is the last of the activate cards.
Spoilers.
Spellbook. It's a strong item. It has 2 different activate abilities. Ooh.
Okay.
One of them can destroy a target weak warrior. Love that. Love that so much. That's really good. And the other one, activate your opponent's strongest warrior. Can't attack next turn.
I love the idea of you essentially throwing a book at someone that's so weak it just kills them.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Like you're not casting a spell from it, you're just doming them with the book.
I think importantly, so you cannot use a specific activate ability in back-to-back turns. But I think you can swap between, like, I can destroy a target weak warrior 1 turn, and then I can stop a strong warrior from attacking next turn.
So you can't use them. Like they're kind of, do they work the same as staples where it's like, oh, if I use the opponent's strongest warrior can't attack next turn, and then I can't use that again next turn.
Yeah, that's correct. That is
Okay.
correct, but you can swap between the 2.
Okay.
Since this is the first one that has 2, I think that's pretty important to bring up.
Yeah.
Spellbook, real good. It seems to be a pretty strong control option. You can keep yourself alive. You can destroy bullshit, which is most of what you have to deal with in this game.
Yeah.
It doesn't deal with normal warriors, but you know that's fun. All right, moving on. We got Fuse. Do you want to read what Fuse does?
Yeah. So. Oh god. Taking 2 cards and making them into 1. Much more powerful card is a staple of trading card games. Because Perfect Draw doesn't feature any sort of outside space for these combined cards, this keyword acts as shorthand for a method of creating fused cards. When a card tells you to fuse cards, the card's effect should specify which cards are being fused. When cards are fused together, they become 1 card with the following features. Card is a warrior, so long as the warrior is involved in the fusion, otherwise they are an item. The card has strength equal to the amount of strength the fused cards would have if they attacked together in a teamwork pool. The card has the effect of all fused cards, including weaknesses, if this doesn't make sense. This card has the effect of all fused cards, including weaknesses. This doesn't make sense. Work with the judge to decide what makes sense in this case. The card has a new name. You should name it now. Do it. But it can also be treated as one of its composite fuse cards when needed for other effects. Which I imagine is like if you had like the Prometheus deck, and you fuse to make Prometheus with the long schlong. But Prometheus with the long schlong, then he still counts as Prometheus for your cards that need Prometheus.
It's pretty cool. I've been creating my old favorite Pokemon deck as my hobby for the day, and that effect specifically, that they keep the name, is really important in that deck.
Yeah. But
right.
I love the idea of fusing things and giving them, like, just making 1 giant card with teamwork.
Oh god.
I might apply fuse to certain cards in my deck. Might be fun.
No, I love Fuse. Fuse is so cool. So we got 2 cards here. You got fusion, which seems to be the polymerization of this game.
Yep. Fusion. Ha.
It's a fuse up to 2 warriors or items from your hand or field. I don't know why it says up to. Like you're fusing 2, right? You're not fusing 1.
I think it's yeah. I think maybe the idea was fusing more than 1, but you're correct. It should have been 2 or more.
I don't think it's 2 or more. I think it's exactly 2. I think they don't want you to fuse 3.
I'm gonna fuse 3. I am going to super poly your entire freaking board, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
God. I'm just gonna be dueling you, Bell. Even in RPGs, I can't escape dueling you, Bell.
I love super polymerization. It's the only OG U-Bell card that's actually any good.
It's real good. I will say that. Verde Anaconda is gone for a reason. Alright, fuse up to 2 warriors. Let's go ahead and talk about Flesh Horror. So it's a normal warrior. Strike 1. When this destroys a warrior to clash, use the destroyed warrior with this. This is so cool. Like, you run this with Prince, right? And you probably run this in a Resolve deck. So you just have a high tension.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to win the clash. And then you fuse the destroyed warrior with this card. This is relinquished, actually.
Yeah.
You can attack the normal warrior, which you really want to. You see, this punishes normal warriors, which is probably the only downside it has. Everything else about this card is awesome. Yeah. Honestly, hear me out. Strengthen this card and clash with a strong card.
Yeah.
And now you just have a strong overwhelm.
One
like,
NPC you have has an invocation that weakens an opposing warrior and strengthens yours. If that would bring the opposite warrior below weak, it fuses that warrior with tears.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. I can see that working.
I think weakening it for the fusion, it might have a few issues, but I think overall it's pretty sick.
That essentially just means that you essentially steal the ability from weak cards. I don't know if I would... That might be overpowered, because essentially you could have a strong card and then you could strengthen it, right? And then weak cards all have the best abilities in the game. So really you want to steal the weak card for all of its positives anyways. So now you just have a strong card that just says flop your nuts on the table. I guess it depends how you use it.
Yeah, I think Fusion has a lot of interesting options. I'm actually building a Fusion deck right now for a play-by-post game on Discord.
Oh.
Yeah, which I'll talk about in a second, because we're about to get to the most important part of that deck. Fusion Potential is also a new keyword. This one's weird. This ability is only treated as part of this card if it is on a fused card. If the Fusion Potential ability has a choice effect, choose only one ability to be treated as part of the fused card. The pre-made card here is a weak warrior, Homunculus, with Fusion Potential. You can choose between Overwhelm, Piercer 2, or Sniper 2. So the goal here is to somehow fuse this onto a strong creature and then win the game.
So it's kind of like Adapt on in certain Hearthstone cards. Adapt is essentially, normally it's on yourself, but there's a hunter one that's a raptor, where essentially Adapt is you get a keyword or a buff that you get to choose from onto onto the creature. It adapts one of your other ones. So for this, it would be you fuse, and then you get to pick one of those abilities.
Yeah.
Okay. But what if I want Piercer 2 and Overwhelm?
I'll find another way to get one of the other. I think it's easier to get Overwhelm than it is to get Piercer 2.
Yeah.
This reminds me a lot of Vendread, which is, mechanically speaking, my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh archetype. That said, it doesn't work at all. I love the idea behind Vendread so much that I forgive the fact that it's unplayable.
Yeah. I like this, though. I like
Yeah,
fusion
no,
potential.
I really like fusion potential. I like homunculus quite a bit. All you need to do is fuse this onto a strong feature, and suddenly you have like a card. Uh, this is a build your own hero.
Yeah, build your own way, you're mine. Um, I guess you could give Piercer 1 an overwhelm.
Yeah,
That would be fine.
yeah. I think the way you fix the way you improve on homunculus is you give it something outside of its fusion potentials.
Yeah, I like its fusion potentials. I think that's fine. Although
Yeah,
with
yeah.
its fusion potential, do you gain the fusion potential keyword as well?
No,
No, okay, because that would
no.
be interesting if you were like, what is the Ikoria behemoth thing where you the evolve?
Mutate.
Yeah, if you mutated on top of it to get one, and then you mutated to get the other, and then you mutate to get the last one.
Yeah, that'd be actually that would be cool as hell.
Yeah.
New idea unlocked.
new contraband.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna talk to my gym about that.
No clue how
Alright,
to
cool.
make sure their balance. Probably have to show it on the server and see what people think. I guess. Yeah, 100%. Do that. Talk to your game master.
Yeah,
But it's really cool that you got your archetype. You started from not really knowing too much of what you wanted to do, just an idea. Now you're already here making your list. Heck
yeah. Go ahead and post it on the server. Honestly, after the stream, I'll probably give it a read.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll DM you on you. I'll DM you on there later. All right, cool. Let's move on to respond. Instant speed, basically.
Mm-hmm. You can play this card for
Uh,
free on the opponent's turn as long as they perform the action specified on the card. So it's kind of like, isn't that kind of what Fumble does? Like Fumble, you also specify an action.
We'll specify a fumble. You like say an action, and if they do that action, you can do a thing.
So
You
respond
understand?
is like Fumble, but you don't have to play the card beforehand.
Yeah, I think respond is just like flash or it being instant speed.
Okay.
Well, I can just do this on your turn. It's a hand trap, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, so sorry. The thing I'm thinking about is the thing I'm getting wrong is that Fumble counters an action.
yeah,
This
yeah.
won't count. This doesn't counter an action. That's. I was separating that in my brain because I was just
That's
thinking of Fumble as an interaction, but I wasn't clearly stating that. I'm like, no, I'm not saying that it counters. I'm sorry.
There you
Yeah.
go. Speaking of counters, counterspell. Um, the opponent plays an invocation. Respond. The opponent plays an invocation. Work with the judge to decide which effects from NPCs are invocations. Fair. Use counter your opponent play against the card this responded to. Okay, this lets you do moves without having to without having to spend the tension, or without having to use your tension.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like that. I like responding. I think it's fun. The fact that they only consider respond as power 1 is
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm gonna make I think what would be cool is like a flash field master or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh.
a blocker with flash is cool.
So it's respond shield master. So it's respond. The opponent plays a
Yeah,
creature or something.
The opponent attacks.
Yeah. Flash out shield master. Get punked, bitch.
Yeah, yeah, block that shit. Probably kill them in the interaction.
Ding.
No, yeah, I think there's cool stuff you can do with Spawn. Obviously, like, we're all card game players, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Being able to interact on your opponent's turn is very important for a lot of ways. All right, so yeah, I like Counterspell. I think it's very specific.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So invisible wall.
Yeah.
Got a normal warrior. Strike 1. Respond your opponent's warrior attacks. We were just talking about that. Overwhelm. The warrior cannot attack.
Oh, okay. This is the Shield Master.
This is
Yeah, this is what I was just talking about.
Oh yeah, this is the shield master, except it stops the attack instead of and then makes it so you can't play a card on your next turn, which is unfortunate.
It's not great.
So the warrior can't attack when played. This card has blocker until the start of your next turn. Okay, it's not. That's not the worst. It's not bad. It's just.
Hold up.
Oh, what's up?
You mentioned you can't play a card on your next turn. You can.
You can. I'm thinking of something else that's not overwhelm.
That's fair. No worries. You're thinking of a. I know the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, the exhaust or whatever.
Yeah, it's 1030.
The.
It does have to be very specific, and that's kind of what I like about it. I kind of before this came out, I used like Gorge, in our campaign.
Yeah.
Which is basically a respawn card, to be honest.
Well, I think the thing I like about the respawn cards is that they're premium for setting up dramatic situations where I'm thinking of overwork, correct?
Yeah.
It's respond is premium for situations where you make a card on the fly in a game.
Yeah, I think this is like most of the time you're going to be perfect drawing one of these.
Yeah, you perfect draw a card because it would be really funny for your opponent to do something specific, and then you're like, objection, I have a response. When you play a normal warrior with those specific abilities on this turn, I get to blow it up into your face.
Are you saying that this is the effect veiler the game?
Yes. No, I'm saying it's better because it's thematic, as if you were. This is thematic Yu-Gi-Oh showing.
I like
respond it. Is you think you're doing that, but instead I'm turtling a mammoth into your castle to kill your guys.
I'm can turtling mammoth into your blue eyes to make it sick.
Yeah.
I actually think like fusing with enemies to make them weaker sounds so fun.
Sounds fun and dumb. I love it.
Love it. Is it powerful? No, but
no, but sometimes it's got to be dumb, and that's okay.
Yeah, RPGs are about having a good time and memeing. That's my personal belief.
100%.
I like Invisible Wall. It's exactly what I was saying I wanted out of a Shieldmaster.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got Secret Courage. Your opponent attacks with a strong warrior. The target you control that's being attacked becomes a strong warrior and gains Piercer 1 until the end of the turn. This is really good on those tension decks we've been mentioning. Those odds are you win the clash and then like
deal a damage. Do you get to do piercer damage when it's you that's getting attacked?
Yep.
That's crazy.
I can't remember the wording that was used for the Ledger Graveyard idea. I'll go back and look. We used Snapcaster Mage.
So
look up Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, it was essentially just you target an invocation or something like that in your graveyard, and then you can cast it, but exile it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I like Secret Courage. It's a really good way of keeping your thing alive. Especially, hear me out, this is going to be weird for me. This is a really good reason to run normal warriors.
Or, hear me out.
Yeah.
Just play a weak warrior.
But, like, the thing about playing a weak warrior is,
it's going to get attacked.
It's going to get attacked by a normal warrior.
Okay. But not if your opponent has strong warriors. That's
true. This is great against me specifically, because I don't believe in normal warriors.
Yeah, correct. I'm countering you specifically.
Yeah. You should counter your gem specifically. I agree. I actually had a scenario where two warriors, both with Piercer, tied the clash. It was ruled as both being destroyed, and the game became a tie. You Axel Brody'd yourself? That's kind of sick, actually.
Axel Brody deserved that. He was going to win that duel, too, I think.
No,
he was just always going to lose?
Supreme Overlord pulled out some bullshit, and then Axel Brody last second was like, actually, I am also bullshit.
Yeah. Actually, I have a gun.
Actually, I have a gun.
Actually, I have a. Wait a minute. Both.
All right, and we're getting to the last keyword of the day.
So
Want to tell us what
resource.
resource does?
Sure. When you gained resource, you now have the amount of resource it told you to gain. When an effect asks you to spend resource, you lose that amount, and if you didn't have the required amount, then you can't use the effect that has. This is what Bailey's cards do.
Yeah.
I wish he was here.
I really wish so as well, but unfortunately, our friend is working, which is fine.
He's
This is just mana. This is just an infinite amount of other card effects that are just mana.
I'm gonna call him out. His work party ended 3 hours ago.
Goddamn.
Fuck that
All right,
guy.
cool. All right, cool. Weapon Master. When you play this, you gain 4 resources. When you play a warrior, you can spend 2 resources to give that warrior strengthened.
Oh yeah, if you watch the first episode that we did, our only Perfect Draw episode actually in the live archives, our friend Bailey has a deck that uses gold, it uses money.
Yeah.
As a resource.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think
it's really cool.
I think the resource page had been revealed on Discord at the time. So I think I did send it to him.
Maybe.
When he was making the deck, and I really like resources. Obviously, I'm a big. I love resource management. It's that kind of game design stuff that I always enjoy.
Freaking city builder looking.
Yeah. So Weapon Master, I think Weapon Master is amazing. Basically 2 times you get to make a creature you play stronger. It's also normal warrior, but honestly, this is fine. This is really good with cards like. Honestly, with most anything. This is Hero of Myth, which you weren't playing anyways, so it's good with everything. It's especially good with a Dragon Egg.
Yeah, Fuse is good with Dragon Egg, actually.
Real
talk.
Everything is good with Dragon Egg.
Everything is good. Dragon Egg is good with everything.
Yeah, no, Dragon Egg is the devoted druid of this game.
Yeah. Play this game for a resource.
Oh my god. The wealth deck is hilarious, yeah. I agree.
It's really good. It is. It's real good.
It's real fun.
Subsystem management. Fair enough.
Yeah. Leyline Mage. At the start of each turn, gain a resource. You can spend 4 to deal 3 damage to a target player. So you can spend 4 to win the game. Okay, I really don't like that I can play Leyline Mage and Weapon Master.
Don't fuse the Dragon Egg with the Hero of Myth.
No, that's like the one way to make it bad.
That's the one thing. Never mind. It's spoiled. Century Egg. You've Joey Wheelered yourself.
No.
Time aged yourself.
Okay, outside of Lich Mage and Hero of Myth, I think Dragon Egg fakes every card. Dragon Egg is so good, dude. Anyways, so yeah, Leyline Mage, gaining resources is fine. I don't think I would let spend 4, deal 3 damage to target player. Actually, I would just make this like be a very multiplayer themed kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You could have it be deal like 3 damage split in between different targets.
Yeah, I think I like that.
And then change it to deal up to 3 damage.
Yeah, I quite like that.
And then
like,
just
dealing
reduce
damage
the
to monsters,
cost.
it just destroys them.
Yeah, so like spend 3, deal up to 3 damage to 3 different targets.
Yeah, we were talking about Orion streams earlier. I think he did a resource card like this for the Toriyama build, where Vegeta could spend X resources to deal X damage.
Yeah.
Or sorry, it was to pop X cards, and that was really cool. But yeah, no, I think with resources, you really have to take a look at how many resources you can generate in the deck to balance it.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the one thing where like looking at just Leyline Mage. is not enough to tell you how much Leyline Mage should cost. So do I post? One second.
I know. We just got a message from a different member of our Discord.
All right, cool. And the final card is Adventurer's Guild. At the start of each turn, gain a resource. Okay. And at the end of each turn, oh, this is cool. You can spend 1, 2, or 4 resources to create a weak, normal, or strong warrior.
That's real good. I like that a lot.
Fun. Adventurer's Guild is way better than Leyline Mage. Adventurer's Guild is so fun. This is probably the most fun card.
And it's a location, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a normal item. It's cool. I like it a lot. I could definitely see myself building an ace out of this. No, yeah, I think I like everything about Adventurer's Guild. It's
just good.
It's always going to be useful.
You could pair it with another card that's like make it like a school, and that gives you keyword counters.
Oh, yes.
Spend resources for training.
You can fuse it with Dragon Egg.
Don't fuse it with Dragon Egg. Brood Mother Dragon. Use Dragon Egg points to make a strong dragon.
Hear me out. You can spend a resource to make a weak, normal, or strong Dragon Egg.
Well, that would just be busted.
It's so good.
Busted makes you feel good.
Busted makes you feel good. But yeah, no, that's all the pre-made cards in Perfect Draw. Please keep in mind, like, we've played the game like twice. Like, there's definitely parts of this game. There's definitely parts of the game we haven't managed to like delve into yet. So there's a pretty good chance we're completely wrong about all this. Our goal isn't to tell you what's like. We're not tiering these cards. We're just telling you like ways you can use these cards in cool ways. I remember the resource ace in the battle stream had an effect that burned resources into abilities. So the final blow was strong overwhelm with like pure force. Okay, hell yeah.
That's wild. I love it. It's cash money.
Cash money, indeed. The game is very young, but it looks very cool. So I agree, and I'm really looking forward to the Kickstarter rewards. The backer kit rewards.
Yeah, the backer kit awards are just going to make everything look really cool. I can't wait for them to officially make that digital card designer.
No, yeah, I'm looking forward to the digital card designer. I'm using Dexterous for now. I really highly recommend Dexterous, if only because like you can make a new card in like a few seconds. Once you made the first one.
Looking at all these resource cards, I'm really worried about how the wealth deck is going to turn out.
The wealth deck is definitely the one that's worrying me the most, but it's also the one I have the most eye on. So
yeah,
hopefully, all right.
I can't wait to be the most broken deck here over everyone's mistakenly. I can't wait to luck into it on accident.
That'd be hilarious. The card happens to be sick. I agree. Honestly, the thing I'm looking most forward to is more pre-made cards. The digital card designer is done. I thought they were still looking for a programmer. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty simple thing to build, but like I thought it was gonna take a lot longer.
Oh, that's pretty cash money though.
Hell yeah! All right, cool. In the next few days, okay, cool. That's awesome. That's really gonna help a lot of people run these games, which is great. And hopefully we'll get to play more Perfect Draw soon. Maybe we'll be using that for our card designing. Although honestly, like I really like the thing I'm using right now, so
yeah,
I doubt I would change it up.
We can workshop it. We might be able. You and I could probably get together at some point to test out a couple of the different modes and see what plays nicest.
Yeah, I agree. I think
as well as
yeah.
I still have to build a couple domain decks so that you can show me how that works.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I haven't played Domain either, so We're probably gonna fumble around quite a bit, and it's gonna be fun.
It kind of looks like it's just Yu-Gi-Oh, but with more people.
Just Yu-Gi-Oh with more people sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
It's also like I can't run Ash Blossom and Effect Veiler and like Nibiru.
I think you still can technically, but you would have to build around using those cards.
You can't run all three.
Yeah, no, you get one of each.
I have the card creator program on Steam, so it's gonna make my card in that now. That's cool. I didn't know Steam had a card creator.
Yeah, the virtual tabletop is going to be really cool. Because one of the things we were struggling with last time is trying to find a virtual tabletop that didn't either charge you out the butt or actually just worked.
Yeah, as a board game designer, I know a few, but they would take a while to set up.
Yeah,
I know Tabletop Simulator has a really good Perfect Draw already. I won't be using it personally, but
yeah,
I'm glad it exists.
personal Rigi zones.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I think that's pretty much all we had to talk about. It's been a great stream. Thanks for viewing it, y'all.
Yeah, thanks for showing up and the great conversation. It was really nice, especially having Paul. Thank you for but resources for the virtual tabletop. Fair enough.
Oh yeah,
thank you
I'm
for
really looking forward to those.
Yeah, but thank you, Paul, for coming in and being more informed and kind of knowing a bit more, so that you could check and balance us. And Hornet Techo, thank you so much for coming in and helping us have a bunch of really fun ideas. You want to do the alt playbook staple still?
I'm all awake, are you, man?
I could do it, but I do have family sleeping, so I don't know if I should.
We can keep it quiet, I guess. There's only 3, 6, 10. There's 10 of these.
Okay. We will put them up there. I will allow you to
yeah,
to
I'll
monitor
read.
them.
I'll read through them. Let people know my thoughts, I guess.
Which one were they at?
They're on page 208.
208. Yeah. Optional playbook staples.
All right. So first one, fuse 2 warriors on the battlefield that you control. Obviously, this is something you take if you're running a fusion deck. This is what I'm going to be taking for my fusion deck. I think fusion is not a parasitic effect, but it definitely I don't think you want a staple of it if you're not running fusion already. But yeah, no, I really like fusion on its own. I think as a playbook staple, it lets you really lean into it in ways that you can't normally. Yeah. So it's a must for fusion decks. Alright, cool. Let's move on. Create a normal warrior with blocker and overwhelm. It can't attack. So I've talked a bit about liking this effect. Although I will say that we have normal warriors with blocker and overwhelm that can't attack in the game as cards. So it's really weird to me that a staple can just make them. That said, it's an effect I like. If you're playing Tactician especially, this is really good. But I don't think you need to be playing Tactician for this to be good.
No, really, no.
Yeah. Like, if you have a card you want to protect, if you have Dragon Egg, this is great. And you should have Dragon Egg.
It's always about Dragon Egg.
Dragon Egg's excellent. I love it. It's my baby.
Fair enough.
Search your deck for a card, add it to your hand, discard a card from your hand, or at random. Okay, so the obvious downside is you can search your deck for a card, add it to your hand, and then discard that card at random. Yeah. Which sucks, unless specifically you're playing a discard deck. I think this is a really risky staple to take, because it doesn't always give you the thing that you want from it, which is the exact opposite of what I want from my staples.
Yeah, generally. Although for my deck, it's great.
Yeah, no.
Because most of the time it just gives me advantage.
If you can use the discards, if you're playing like Dangers dot deck,
yeah,
which you effectively are, This is
Mhm.
great. I think this is also really good. Like as we get to the later parts of the game, it starts getting better and better.
Mhm.
But definitely, like I think most decks should not take this.
Oh, search for the
Something.
zombie,
Search for the zombie is so big. Yeah,
especially
no,
if
if
your
you're running
zombie has a benefit to it.
specifically, yeah, search for zombie. Yeah, no, I think if you have like discard stuff, this is amazing.
Search for
That
Lich
said,
Queen,
like,
kill yourself.
oh,
Yeah, do it.
do it. Yeah, be careful. Playbook staples. This is the only staple I think where you can just kill yourself off of it, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Create a weak warrior. This is strengthened for each warrior you control with the same text as this card. Okay, so my favorite Pokemon deck of all time is Passimian. It's a deck that focuses on playing a ton of Pokemon named Passimian. So you run 4 Passimians, 4 Dittos, and a Mew that can copy the Ditto.
Yeah.
That said, because of that, I like this card a lot. I think in most situations, this is worse Dragon Egg, which is still a good thing to be. Uh,
Yeah. Better, worse Dragon Egg than a
than
good
just shit.
hero.
Hero of Myth with upside is still Hero of Myth.
It's still just hero of myth. It's just hero of myth with upside is Leviathan.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, no, I really like this card, especially because it's a staple, you're guaranteed to have it. I think this is only good in that one playbook that can let you have an ace stable. Because if you can just play this card every turn, you can play like traps as your actual cards,
Mm-hmm.
and then just just control the field enough that you have like 2 or 3 of these guys.
You could even have your traps, or not even traps. You could have items that also uh, could boost it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
it's not quite the same. You have an item that makes it. You have an item that
yeah.
playbook staples it there.
I would definitely have a warrior that can just have the same name as this weak warrior.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really like this card. I think it allows for a very interesting deck that I have a lot of experience playing in real life.
You can do copy
Um,
spells. That would be fun.
yeah.
Alternate win cons would be fun. Speaking of like a biogenesis.
Ooh, that'd be cool. All right,
Mhm.
cool. Flip a coin. On heads, gain 2 life. On tails, take 1 damage. Okay, so I was wrong about the tutor being the one that could kill you. This can also kill you. Um, so on average, you're getting 1 life.
Yeah.
But this is so dangerous in the early game. I wouldn't take this
No.
unless there's some way to cheat.
Well,
I don't
it's
think I'd
like
ever.
my I think my staple kills me currently.
Yeah, if you have effects that create duplicates of cards, it is great. I agree. Um, I think having an item that can duplicate it, or just warriors that can clone it, or something like. There's so many cool ways of breaking, not breaking, but like having a lot of fun
Yeah.
with
Duplicates.
with the Passimian deck. I don't have an actual name for the card, so I'm just gonna keep calling it Passimian.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Sim passing in.
Yeah.
The Oranguru deck.
Oranguru deck is pretty nice. Okay, return target warrior from graveyard to the battlefield, lose 1 life. This can be good.
This is just
Monster Reborn.
necromancy, right?
Yeah, it's necromancy, but you take a damage.
Okay, bad necromancy. Understood.
It's bad necromancy. This can also kill you. I'm getting worried that some of these staples can kill you.
Did you know? You may die.
I may die. That said, if you have a warrior that's worth bringing back with a staple, like
That's pretty good.
you're running this in a Voltron deck and a Voltron deck only.
Pretty much.
But this is amazing in the Voltron deck.
My deck would like this if I didn't. My staple didn't
Oh, yeah.
mill or exile like a quarter of my deck.
Yeah, if it didn't kill you, because this would absolutely murder you.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Maybe as we get more into the plot, you can.
We'll
Maybe
do some
talk.
things. We'll get
Yeah.
better. I have ideas.
Nice. Target item you control becomes strong and gains inconspicuous until the start of your next turn. This is cool. I think the best thing you can do with this is like have an item like barracks or something
Yeah.
where you're just providing a ton of value, and then being able to just fully protect it every now and then is kind of sweet.
That's real good.
All right. Notably, it's still weak to destruction effects. Target warrior you control gains pressure 1 until end of turn, until the end of the current battle. This staple can only be used once per battle. Okay, we're gonna get into the once per battle rules. Gaining pressure 1 until the end of the current battle. You're basically only doing this to crash, and to win the crash.
Yeah.
Is that enough? I think this is only good in a card that you like want to be crashing repeatedly.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want to play that deck because it sounds super inconsistent.
Probably. It's the Yugi deck of all time. The Chumley deck, even.
Oh, not the Chumley deck. Thing is, if you have stuff that loses life, you can also run life gain. Yeah, I agree you can run life gain, but like...
Yeah, but then that's your deck's entire gimmick, and like...
Yeah, having to run life gain does not make a deck better. Does not make a card better.
It's the argument we had for
how to make
Hero of Myth. It's just you could run cards to make Hero of Myth good as an overwhelm strong by just making a card that offsets it, but it doesn't necessarily make it better.
Yeah, I'd rather have a normal overwhelm that I can strengthen.
Yeah.
Pressure is a passive boost. No, but you only get it for one turn. You get it for one battle only. Am I reading the card wrong?
Pressure 1 until the end of the current battle. So it's not the current fight, like the entire match.
Oh, the entire match. Oh, I'm
essentially, yeah. So you're reading it wrong. It's that you can only use the staple once per battle, but that's like if you're around and clashing aren't the same. So it's like you add the keyword to it. Now
I take back what I said.
If
I
it
think
dies, does it then lose the keyword?
I mean, yeah, it's dead. No. It has it until the end of the current battle. If I play that card again, I still have it.
Okay, cool. So that's not bad. That's not bad.
No,
at all.
I like it a lot now.
We've learned to read the card.
Sorry, Paul, I can't read.
It's true. I've seen it happen.
I play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Play Yu-Gi-Oh. I only know how to do advanced quadratics and linear theory.
Yeah, I only learned game theory. I can't read.
Yeah, I don't know how to read.
No, yeah, I like Pressure 1 quite a bit. I talked about how much I like Tactician earlier.
Yeah, I need to get pressure for certain things once I learn how to play around that, and also I want to get more, because I don't think I have a single oh god spell.
2-8. I think you passed it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. No, yeah, I think pressure is really good. It's really strong. Gain 1 advantage. Oh, okay. That's kind of nuts.
What is advantage? Is all your other things that you're trying to do? Usually, you have to overcome baggage for, right?
Yeah. Yeah, gaining an advantage is pretty good.
An anti-pressure effect. That makes sense. Because you'd have to find a way to offset it, right? Other than the one silence effect.
Yeah.
You gain 1 advantage. Yeah, no, that's pretty nuts. Although advantage is a resource, so.
Yeah, it's a resource. It's hard to get usually. There's anti-pressure. I can't read it.
Let's see. Create a strong warrior with overwhelm. Oh, I'm looking at the next one.
Create a strong warrior with overwhelm. Overwork. The staple can only be used 1 per battle. Okay, so you can make Hero of Myth without having to make Hero of Myth. It's pretty good. It's really sad when a staple is better than a card.
Better than your actual just card. Because the staple is just supposed to be weak. That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, no. To be fair, in a game that goes long enough, I know Hero Miss is better, but like, this is so funny. No, yeah, create a strong warrior with overwhelm. Strong warriors with overwhelm win games. Uh, by that I mean it is a keyword that gives a penalty to tension while the warrior is out. The keyword is called fearsome. It's the one with the custom library. Oh, I haven't seen the custom library. Um,
Yeah, I think so. Does it
I think there's
give
a lot of
you a
cool stuff.
negative, or does it give someone else a negative? Because it sounds like it would give someone else a negative. But if it gives you a penalty for it, and then you get a better thing, that could be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I definitely need to look at the custom library eventually. But yeah, no. As far as these, I think gain advantage is really, really cool, but I have a lot of issues with it from a game sense.
Yeah.
Because like advantage is something you have outside of the duel. It's like how your character is feeling, like how confident you are. So
Yeah.
I don't like that a card can give me outside of playing my ace card makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It is for warriors that NPCs control. Oh, that's cool. So like the more
So they can dock you for your tension.
nice, it would give the PCs face some penalty. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that as a GM tool.
Yeah, I think it's neat. I always love GM tools, like ways of having ways of countering the players quote
Yeah,
unquote, but like it's on
can't
the
wait
field.
for you to do that for me to silence it at instant speed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's what I want, right?
Get
Like,
you punished.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that's the last one. I mean, all the ones that can only be played once per battle seem really strong. I'd want to test them out quite a bit before I actually let them be run.
Yeah.
As far as the other ones, I think they all kind of have their niche. The
Mm-hmm.
flip a coin one, is the only one where I just wouldn't recommend it to people. I think taking one damage is so detrimental in this game.
Yeah. Well, you're just doing it as in a gamble deck, so it's like you're doing a
Yeah.
life gain gamble deck. So maybe the point of the deck is that you're trying to you're literally playing on the edge, so your character
Yeah.
doesn't care if he loses or not.
You
So
got
I would
the
do that with thematically. You could do the what?
thematically you're Joey.
No, you're not Joey. Joey is just a problem gambler, but he cares if he wins. Technically, you would be Duke Devlin, um,
Yeah.
which is not the worst thing to be Dice Monsters wise. But I forget which archetype it is, but the one where it's like, oh, they don't really care.
The ally.
Yeah, so thematically, you can be an ally who's a problem gambler. You're like a deadbeat dad or something.
You're a deputy dad. I don't know if I want to play this character we're describing, but
You don't have to. We can get someone else to do it.
also the one for battle is considered a large balancing tool by the devs, I believe, especially since after that you're down a staple. No, I agree that it's terrible, right? Like being down a staple is huge in a game where staples matter so much.
Yeah.
That said, I don't know if the game is going to last that long after I play this.
Yeah.
Alternative playbook staples would probably be very situational. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the most part, you're gonna just use the playbook that the staple that your playbook has.
Yeah.
I think you really only want to use them in the case that your like deck's theme and your playbook staple have nothing in common. In which case, these usually provide the answer for that. I agree. A lot of the playbook staples are perfectly fine. I really do think that alternate playbook staples should only be used if you really like your playbook, but really can't get any use out of your playbook's normal staple.
Yeah, like for me playing the medium, I don't like my playbook staple. One for my deck, but two, it's another one of those ones where it costs me life. My deck doesn't gain me life, so most of the time I don't want to play it.
Yeah, I'm playing the turncoat where my whole theme is I'm playing a deck based on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
It's a fusion deck where I'm trying to like I have a miracle, not miracle. I have a super poly
Mm-hmm.
and I have like a way to fuse my own creatures and my deck is themed around fusion play what was it? Fusion potential.
Yeah.
Where all of my creatures are like bodies I dug up with fusion potential.
Okay.
And then when I fuse them I can make like a chimera zombie.
Mm-hmm. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and for that deck, the turncoats of like ditch a monster to get a regular strong warrior does nothing for me. Um,
Yeah,
it doesn't
unfortunately.
advance my. I think it's a good staple. I think it's great. Having a strong warrior that you can easily get out is amazing. Uh, but it doesn't do anything for my deck. And I think my character is thematically and even my deck fits the turncoat very well. So like I don't think that's necessarily the issue. Anyways, we're pretty tired. At least I am.
Yeah,
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But it's been lovely streaming with you.
yeah. Thank you so much for coming in to watch the stream, listen to us chatter about things, and make up new memes for ourselves.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't wait to be in the middle of a game and have Jesus randomly throw the hero of myth somewhere in there getting dominated by a dragon egg.
can we talk about how Hero of Myth is like the Exodia of the game?
I feel so bad. It's not even Exodia. It's Exodia.
It's
Uh,
Exodia if Exodia didn't win.
it's Exodia if Exodia had no effect.
That and the weak warriors that strengthen with dupes are probably my two favorites. Yeah. No, I love the weak warrior that strengthens with dupes because it specifically reminds me of my favorite Pokemon deck of all time.
Anyways, I gotta go. I got family that's
Yeah.
sleeping, a little kid.
All right.
So
Lovely chatting with y'all, and we're heading out. Thanks for joining in.